It's time for Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Presented by Countywide Service Company. Now, here's Don Harris.
You are looking live at Gustafson Stadium on San Antonio's northwest side. Two tradition-rich programs on the rise again. It's Harlandale, it's Holmes on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights on the CW35. Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Harris along with my broadcast partner, Chuck Miketenik. And Chuck, what a matchup tonight. Holmes and Harlandale both out to winning records. The Huskies are 2-1. And Harlandale is 3-0 after a thrilling overtime win over Central Catholic.
Yeah, because of that 3-0 start, Don, as you know, they are ranked number 9 in our TNL poll. But, man, this thing going down to the wire the other night. In overtime, Christian Villarreal finds his tight end Jesse Sandoval for the 2-point conversion, which gave the Harlandale Indians the walk-off win. But, you know, what's interesting, Don, is, of course, Coach Isaac Martinez is thrilled with his team's start. What he wasn't thrilled about was the fact that his team coughed up a 10-point lead in the second half. But as you look at the numbers for Christian Villarreal, he really played big when it mattered most last week. And the interesting thing about him, Don, is that his coach really loves how he manages a football game.
And there's no question about it. His favorite target is the man that he hit for that 2-point conversion. Big number 84, Jesse Sandoval. Look for him to target him a lot tonight.
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup because, as we know, Harlandale, one of the most multifaceted offenses in town. They run a lot of different things at you, and it's going to be interesting to see if Holmes can try to slow him down.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, Holmes is going with a relatively new quarterback. Jesse Vara played some last year, but he's kind of been forced into the starting role because of injury, and he's done a very good job.
Yeah, James Valdez went down with a high ankle sprain in the first ball game, but Jesse came out, played really well last week, helped him get a win. So I think there's a chance we're going to see both quarterbacks tonight, and both of these guys, they're seniors, they know this offense really well, and they too will probably be able to score some points tonight as well.
It is fall, it is starting to cool off a little bit, but not cool enough for those guys down on the field. Speaking of that, let's go down to the field for our ASCO Game Time weather with Mike Hernandez.
Hey guys, yeah, you know what? It's not bad here. I've seen it a lot worse this time of year. We're sitting in the upper 80s right now. If you look in the distance, you see a few build-ups, but they are distant, and I don't expect them to be an issue. A nice east wind, and as long as we keep that wind running about 10 miles an hour, it's going to be a beautiful evening for football. I do expect the temperatures to tumble into the low 80s as we progress through the evening and then into probably the fourth quarter.
That's good football weather right there. We're looking forward to a good one tonight here at Gustafson Stadium. When we come back, we'll have our Church's Chicken Keys to the Game on the CW35 on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by Rodriguez Butcher Supply.
We're back at Gustafson Stadium. It's Harlandale and Holmes tonight on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Right now, time for our Church's Chicken Keys to the Game. And Chuck, first up, the keys for the Harlandale Indians.
Well, the Indians don't want to give up the big play on D. Holmes has got a lot of good playmakers on the outside with their offense, and we'll get to that as the game goes along. But secondly, they want to be really good in the kicking game tonight. They had some punt miscues last week that almost cost them the Central game. And then lastly, they want to keep the Huskies offense off the field.
Coach Isaac Martinez, a legend on the south side. We asked him, how's it feel to be 3-0?
Well, you know, every team every year sets out to go 10-0, right? That's the obvious goal for everybody. We've been fortunate that we've been able to do well in the first 3 ball games. We've had some kids that have stepped up and done some nice things in leadership positions. So hopefully we can continue with that, and 4-0 would be extremely nice. So it's going to take some work. They got a great ball club, but that's what it's all about: work and effort, and then preparation and everything else should take care of itself.
Their opponent tonight, the Holmes Huskies. Holmes is 2-1. Chuck, what are their keys?
Well, firstly, they want to protect the football. Secondly, control the football. Time of possession is going to be key tonight. And then 3 and outs on defense. That was pivotal, I should say, last week against Southwest and helped them win that football game.
I tell you what, 3 and outs are tough against Christian Villarreal. We asked Coach Eddie Salas, how do you stop number 11?
Oh, you know, just try to use our team speed. I think our defense has done a great job in the past couple of weeks. You know, we've had a defensive score last week. We held a team down to 14 points, and I think we got a pretty experienced defense, and hopefully they can contain him because he's a really good athlete.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the kickoff. It is homecoming for the Holmes Huskies. I guess that makes it Homecoming here at Gustafson Stadium. We'll kick it off. We'll have our national anthem when we come back. It's Harlandale and Holmes on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We're back. Gustafson Stadium, Harlandale and Holmes on Thursday Night Lights. Let's send it over to the public address announcer here at Gustafson Stadium. That is Lou Caluza.
Now entering the field is the color guard from the Texas 781st Air Force Junior ROTC from Oliver Wendell Holmes at Business Careers High School. Commanding and carrying the American flag, Cadet Second Lieutenant Devaney Cuevas. Carrying the Texas flag, Cadet Master Sergeant Rosalinda Morales. The American Guard, Cadet Captain Angelica Bonilla. The Texas Guard, Cadet Master Sergeant Serena Vaught. This time we ask you to please rise and remove your hats to honor America and the men and women serving in our armed forces throughout the world. Our national anthem this evening will be played by the Holmes High School Husky Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Daniel Lugo.
Very nice job by the band and color guard of our national anthem, and we're about ready to tee it up here on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Harlandale and Holmes. Harlandale, the road team, wearing their all white, and the Huskies will be in green. It kind of looks like the Washington Redskins against the Green Bay Packers here tonight. And these two teams, look at this, Chuck. The last time they met was 1999. So two really tradition-rich programs, but they haven't faced each other much in non-district play and not real familiar with the styles of play. But we all know that Isaac Martinez has done a wonderful job at Harlandale over his last 20 years or so. And Eddie Salas is in the midst of turning around this program. It was 0-20 just a couple of years ago.
Well, what's interesting to me, Don, is that, you know, these two used to be two of the bigger programs in town, and they'd always face each other. But when Harlandale dropped down to 5A, kind of made it difficult to have these two teams pair up. But this is going to be a good matchup for both teams, because I know the Harlandale Indians are going to be testing themselves playing up. Same thing for Holmes. I mean, they want to be a playoff team this year, and they really would like to get this one too. Nothing like having a little 3-1 momentum going into zone play in 28-6A.
All right, so we're ready to kick it off. Holmes will do the honors. Brian Gonzalez will be kicking. John Navarro and Ryan Jaramillo back deep to receive it for the Harlandale Indians. Tonight's first half kickoff sponsored by America's Diamond. And we are underway. Kick is short. It's going to be taken at the 15. Across the 20.
across the 25 and down at about the 27-yard line. And that was Miguel Leal, the junior running back. There's Christian Villarreal, the numbers that he has had this year, throwing for 618 yards. He also runs the ball an average of 5 yards per carry, so he's a dual threat guy. And again, he was the hero a week ago when they beat Central Catholic in overtime, going for it on 2. Villarreal wants to throw on first down and fires over the middle. He's got a man and he's wide open and still on his feet. Down at the 45 is Dylan Medina, and just like that, Chuck, we see that passing air raid offense from the Indians.
Really nice play dropping back, and that's the one thing about Christian Villarreal. He's going to know this offense better than anybody, and Coach really talked him up, talking about how he's really good at turning the page after he makes a mistake. Well, no mistake right there. That was a strike to start the ball game.
28-yard gain as he turns and hands the ball to the ball carrier, John Navarro. They like this kid, just a sophomore and really growing up before their eyes. He'll get most of the action. You take a look at their guys up front. Jacob Lopez anchors that offensive line at center. And they like to throw it. They spread it out with 4 receivers as we take a look at the rest of the offense. Navarro, their running back, just a sophomore, and Castano, Ruiz, Medina, and Sandoval all share the wealth. Although 84, Sandoval will see plenty of balls thrown his way. 2nd down and 7 for Villarreal, who throws the slant. No, throws it down the sideline to Steven Ruiz, and he's off to the races. Ruiz is going to score. Touchdown, Indians.
What a move by Steven Ruiz. And what was so great about that was Villarreal did a really nice job moving his head and really tilted the defense to the left side of the field. When he drops back, look, first thing he does is look left. So the defense all starts cheating that way, and then bam, foot in the ground, and wow, that was an easy pitch and catch for the first 6 points of the ball game.
That didn't take long. Harlandale on top 6-0. Francisco Laredo on to add the extra point. Steven Benitez will hold. And the kick is up long enough, and it is good. And just like that, the Harlandale Indians are on the board. Only 10:46 still to play here in the first quarter, and Harlandale strikes quickly.
Well, we talked about how multifaceted their offense is, Don. They're going to do a lot of things, you know, read option, all that kind of stuff. They're going to junk it up a little bit, but they also like to throw the football. And so there's a lot on the quarterback's plate in this offense. Lots to learn, lots of places he can go with the football, but man, that was just too easy to start this ball game for the Indians. And, you know, we talked about their start 3-0, and Coach Martinez made no bones about it. You know, he goes, that's the goal every year. You want to come out and you win every single ball game. But he admitted he's also pleasantly surprised with the quick start. And, you know, he wanted to see some things tonight, too, because he really felt like they were controlling the Central game last week. And then it got a little sideways. They had a couple of miscues, and all of a sudden, you know, they had a big lead in that game get away. But I guess in the final analysis, you know, they're finding ways to win early on, and that could be a good thing before you start district play.
Yes, indeed, and now we will see that Holmes offense. John Duhan, looking at number 22 right there. He's explosive, as is DeQuarian Haney. DQ, they call him, and John Andrade will kick it off for the Indians. It's a pooch kick, and it's going to be fair caught right there at the 22-yard line, and we will get our first look at the Holmes offense. As we said, the Holmes offense, an interesting one, as Jesse Vada doing a nice job in relief. They've got 2 quarterbacks. Vara was plugged into action after a week 1 injury to James Valdez, and he's done a good job. 20 of 36 on the year with 231 yards and only 1 interception to 1 touchdown. And they have a very intriguing receiver in Quintrivius Wright, number 6. He's 6'5", 210. A transfer, you can't miss him. He's at the top of your screen at 6'5". Vara hands off, that's Duhan. He's tackled for really no gain at all by David Juarez.
Jonathan Gonzalez also doing a nice job jamming that one up.
Here's the Huskies offensive line. Jay Cruz is a first-team All-District player from a year ago. Their backs, Haney's a running back. Wright is their favorite target. Duhan catches a lot of footballs as well. Very explosive player, number 22. 2nd down and 9 for Vara, who rolls to his right. Buying a little time and fires to Duhan. It's caught, and it's good for a first down, and that is a Braceland first down.
A really nice job right there by Jesse Vada rolling to his right, and that's the one thing you're going to see a lot tonight from the Holmes Huskies is that they are a veteran group up front. They're kind of new at some of these skill spots in terms of not having a lot of experience, but they got 4 of their 5 starters back up front. That's allowing them to do a lot of different things offensively as well.
Sergio Estrada into the ballgame on the left side as Haney gets the carry. No, it was actually a keep by Vara. As we take a look at that Harlandale defense.
Yeah, Alex Rodriguez, number 64. That was a nice play by him as he sticks his nose out there to get this game going.
Chris Lackey, the linebacker, kind of anchors that defense. And Sergio Arbaca had 2 interceptions already this year.
64 is a large human.
Both of these schools have some kids that are getting looks from the next level. As Vira rolls up to his left, he's hit as he throws. John Duhan, the intended receiver. It's incomplete, and that'll set up 3rd and 8.
You talked about that. I mean, Harlandale looks really big, especially on this defensive side. And that defensive line,
certainly bigger
very stout.
Yeah, certainly bigger than we've seen Harlandale teams of the past. All right, so big key play for Vara here on 3rd and 8. He's looking at right all the way, fires his way. It's caught. Well, it went through his hands. It was short of the sticks anyway. It's incomplete, and the Huskies will turn it over on downs. I believe Wright had a little bit of that Dallas Cowboy issue the other day with the sun right in his eyes as he went on that out route.
Well, he's going to be an interesting fella because you know they're going to be looking at him throughout the night. And we'll tell you his story as we go on, too, because it's a pretty darn interesting one. And I know the Huskies are glad they have him. Looks like he's going to punt, too.
He's their punter as well. Do-it-all athlete just showed up on campus here in June. And end-over-end knuckler to Frank Castano. Frank is up to the 37-yard line, and Harlandale will have another shot at it when we come back. It's Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's Harlandale 7, Holmes nothing. 9 minutes to play in the first quarter when we return on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Hey, welcome back, guys. It's time for Church's Fried Chicken. I'm joined by Area Manager Yvonne James and General Manager James Ferguson, and he's got a new location out there at Calabar and Gom, right? So we want to thank you again for being with us again this year. Church's supports us in and out. Why do you guys do it?
Thursday Night Lights holds a special place in Church's heart. We love to support the community. That's what we're here for.
And we sure appreciate it. I'll tell you what, I grew up on Church's Chicken. I know a lot of us watching did, and a lot of us have come to San Antonio and have not. Tell us one thing about Church's Chicken that maybe people don't know.
Yeah, well, there's 1,700 stores in over 50 countries, and it all started here in San Antonio in 1952. So homegrown, born and bred. And we just do it for the community, do it for Thursday Night Lights.
All right, so they got some great specials going on here. Again, thank you all so much for all you do. We're going to send it back to you, and I'm going to eat some chicken. I'll send you the leftovers, guys.
I know, you did last week. There wasn't anything but bone left when we got it from Mike last week. Big run by John Navarro, good for a Braceland first down. Mark Soseda made the tackle, but you can see why they like this very talented freshman. Showed up in spring football and in the summer, had a great summer workout, and he's a hoss for just a sophomore. They pitch it to him this side. Navarro good for another 4 or 5. Yeah, Joseph Martinez on the tackle.
Yeah, Isaac Martinez was telling us before the game that, you know, it's kind of interesting. He's got a senior-heavy team, but only about half of them play. But he's got 13 or 14 juniors, 10 sophomores, and it's kind of been unusual for them to have this many young guys.
Taking a look at that Holmes Husky defense, they got some guys with some experience. Davion Frazier, the middle linebacker, was first team all-district last year. And look out for Mark Soseda and Ethan Ramirez in the secondary as Harlandale pushes forward, trying to get to that stick a little closer. Ethan Ramirez, very talented. Set up 3rd down and about 3 for Christian Villarreal and the Indians.
Got to believe it's 2-down territory. Coach Isaac trying to deliver a forearm shiver here to start the game. You go down and score a touchdown easily on your first drive and trying to march on the second.
He sends Ruiz to the left, Medina and Castano this side, and they may have gotten the Huskies to jump as you see the quick feet of Navarro. Flags fly. They're going to call offense or defensive encroachment.
Ramirez flag on the play.
Offsides. Holmes. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Our lead referee tonight is Emilio Landeros. He's joined by Kenneth Fields. Sergio Vega is the head linesman. The line judge is Michael Camargo, and Pete Casillas is the back judge. That's the first time we've heard from Emilio tonight. 1st and 10. And Chuck, over the years, we've seen Isaac do a great job of mixing the run and the pass. He loves these pro-style offenses, and it looks like we may have a double pass here, firing deep for the end zone for Ruiz. It's incomplete. Good coverage down there by Mark Saceda, number 15. But Isaac trying to bring out the trickeration.
Yeah, Salcedo doing a really nice job. You know, the receiver was behind him, but he did an outstanding job of not only closing the gap between ball and receiver, but look at him at the last minute turnaround. Get his hand on that play. That's why I didn't call any pass interference. Nice play, young man.
Got his head around, a little bit underthrown. Steven Ruiz was down there. Sets up 2nd down and 10. Leal in now is back. Blitz coming this side. Holmes had it snuffed out. Big number 98 for the Huskies. It's loose. Holmes still has it. No whistle. Now we hear a whistle and they're bringing it back. Robert Perez slammed Villarreal to the turf. Frazier scooped it up and thought he had housed it for 6, but they're going to call it down.
Wow, this was a bad play from the beginning. Defensive lineman having none of it for Holmes, and wow, that ball was out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was out before he hit. No replay in high school football. And had we had instant replay, the score might be 7-7, but we play on. 3rd down and 20 for the Indians. Straight drop. Villarreal fires over the middle. There's Sandoval. Sandoval to the 25. He's got to get to about the 22 for the first, and he's real close to the stick. Wow. Cipriano Sierra there to make the tackle, but you can see why he's a favorite target. They're going to move the sticks. 1st down for the Indians on 3rd and 20.
Yeah, and he's just trucking guys at the end of this thing. Look at that. He's got a freaking college body. Running ball down the field like that. And how about those hands snatching that ball strongly out of the air?
Leal on the toss sweep left. He's hit hard after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, that was the one thing that Coach Isaac talked about too last week in that game when those guys hooked up to win the game, is that they had a guy that was making a really good throw and a really good catch and really strong hands.
Yeah, Leal was really clocked on that, the end of that run by the Holmes defense. Inside our Vantage College red zone, Miguel Leal took a shot. He took a helmet-to-helmet shot. And he is going to have to shake the cobwebs out there a little bit. Lucky he wasn't hurt worse. Wow.
But you can see why these guys like finding each other. 11 and 84 is going to be a combination that's going to work wonders for these guys all season long.
Navarro back in at tailback. 2nd down and 9, a little delay, and we have whistles again.
Procedure. Down.
This time it's on the Indians. They'll back it up. It'll be 2nd and 14. Isaac wants an explanation, and he gets it. As we look at our UIW Smile Cam, earn a degree of difference at the University of the Incarnate Word. Smile Cam, A lot of green and gold here on homecoming for the Holmes Huskies. 7-0 Harlandale, threatening again at the red zone. Christian Villarreal fires over the middle. It's caught down to the 5-yard line. Struggling for the 3 is Dylan Medina. Good ball, good throw, and a strong catch, tearing it away from the defender.
Well, it really was. And, you know, on the backside of this, got to really give a lot of credit to Jason Ramirez, too, because he not only did a good job getting the guy down, but he took a chance there to try to knock it away and tried to front him a little bit. Just didn't work out on the front side, but he was able to make the tackle.
9-yard gain, 1st and goal now from the 4. 3 split to the right, 1 left. It's a keeper for Villarreal all the way. He struggles for the in line. Did he get it? Referee says no. Line judge marked him down right at the 1-foot line as Ethan Ramirez was there to stop him short.
You could tell these guys want to go fast too, and they're really off to a good start tempo-wise, are the Indians.
11th play of this drive. Plenty of time on the play clock as it's still over 22. Navarro has been their workhorse runner, a powerful runner, even though he's just a sophomore. And he'll try to punch it in here on the 12th play of the drive. It's a keeper all the way and struggling forward. Are they going to give him the call? No. Linesman coming up all the way from the far sideline marked it short again. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
It's a really nice job by the Holmes guys up front, keeping that ball out of the end zone. Can they do it one more time, or perhaps 2 more times?
Villarreal's your quarterback, Navarro the running back behind that big offensive line. 3rd and a foot. It's Navarro, he struggles forward. It's going to take a week to sort it out, but I think he scored a touchdown.
I don't know if he did or not.
No, they didn't give it to him.
Unbelievable play
Devion Frazier making the tackle.
Came in and unblocked, made the play. We're just stacking too many guys up at the line.
Holmes with a chance at an epic goal line stand here. I didn't see any way he didn't score there. Same formation. And it's Villarreal over the top. Touchdown. Touchdown, Harlandale Indians.
Just a slight little change of pace right there. You guys have been jamming us up in the middle. I'm going to try it around the left side, see if I can't sneak one in.
Yeah, there's no use beating your head against the wall. Go around the wall.
That's right.
They finally figured it out.
Yeah, just a little stutter step. And once again, Devion Frazier almost making it back-to-back good tackles around the goal line, just a tick too late.
Francisco Laredo on the extra point. Benitez's hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. It is 14-0 Harlandale. Here at Gustafson Stadium, Christian Villarreal adding to his touchdown total of the year, going over the top for 6. We're coming back after this.
All right, welcome back. I'm joined by Jesse Horta. He's the Harlandale band director. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sir.
So we were just talking a minute ago, and turns out I asked him if he was in the band when he was in school. He said, yeah, he graduated from here, but he was in the Marine Band, the United States Marine Band, for 4 years. Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you, sir. It was a pleasure serving.
Okay, so first year here at Harlandale, what do you think?
I'm having a blast. Kids are having a blast. It's great.
Real quick, what are you going to be doing at halftime?
The show is called You Are. It's arranged by Carol Chambers, and the drill's done by Roland Sandoval.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. And again, thank you for what you're doing, and keep it up, all right?
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. We always look forward to the halftime shows here by both bands. It's part of the tradition of Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We don't just feature the football players, but also all the spirit groups. The band's very much a part of the great high school football experience in the state of Texas. As Jonathan Andrade's kick is taken at the 20 and the 25 and staying on his feet and struggling close to the 40 is number 20 for the Holmes Huskies, and that was Joseph Martinez. I'm sorry, number 80, Kieran McCall. Huskies trying to get on the board here. Don't want to fall too far behind, down 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Had a little bit of a hard time getting their offense untracked. Although Vara, again, is not traditionally their starter, but has looked very solid off of their 2-1 start. And again here tonight. 1st and 10 for the Huskies. And Harlandale defense saw that one coming from the get-go. The linebacker, Marcus Fisher and Chris Lackey, came up and snuffed that one out quickly.
Yeah, Marcus Fisher, I mean, there's a guy in every gap right now. Holmes is going to have to do something to get these guys from pinning their ears back, because the Indians are coming.
2nd down and 10 for Holmes as Haney's back there in the backfield next to Vara. Straight drops, got pressure, rolls out of it. Being chased. Oh, the speed of the linebacking core, but Vara's still on his feet. Now he's got some room to run.
That might be the best 1-yard loss I've ever seen in my entire life. I cannot believe how many guys he made miss, and you weren't kidding about the speed of the linebackers.
Marcus Fisher flying in there.
Yeah, Jesse Vara, foot in the ground, does a little spin move. He gets another guy in the spin cycle right here. I mean, he's just running for his life. I mean, every time he looks up, there's an Indian right in his face, and that's like, he's taking on big guys, lowering his shoulder, and I like it.
Chris Lackey with the tackle, 3rd down 11. As Vara takes a snap, he's again looking for his big guy. Quintavious has it at the 30. Big fella down to the 28-yard line. Isaac Barrera forced him out, but there you see Quinn Wright.
I want to see if they're going to call him for a push-off. Well, it was pretty good coverage downfield right here, but right there at the last second, it's going to be curious to see who they call this penalty on.
Well, there is a flag on the field. I didn't see it. Good pickup. So it's coming back.
Offensive pass interference on green.
All right, so they'll back it up, and it'll be 3rd down and 11. I don't know about you, Chuck. I didn't really see it. There's a little contact.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wasn't a lot, but, I mean, it was probably enough to call, but you can see why that young man is going to get a lot of action tonight.
Already being looked at by a number of colleges. Just starting to show up on the radar. Didn't play much last year at Fort Worth Lake Worth, a 4A program. Vara flinging it this side again, and that's caught out of bounds by Kieran McCall.
And we're going to go work the other side. How about that?
2 good throws by Vara. James Garcia forced McCall out, but not before he picks up another Braceland 1st down.
Now they want to go. I'm telling you what, Jesse Vara is showing some really good fortitude in that pocket. I mean, he hung in there at the last minute, took a shot, still delivered a strike.
Aquarian Haney, the running back with him in the backfield, as he hands to him now. Coming this side is Haney. Takes the linebacker head on, or the safety rather, and there's a nice collision there. Sergio Abarca comes up, and neither was going to back down, and it's a good old-fashioned football tackle right there.
Yeah, Sergio, as you said, had a pick in that first game that sealed it against Jay. They've had some real good barn burners so far this year, and boy, that was a really nice field, a really nice tackle in the open field.
2nd and 1. So Haney again, no, it's Vara keeping, and now he gets to the corner, and he's got some room on this side. Vara showing his speed inside the 15, down at the 12.
Looks like it's coming back. They had a hold on the left side, and really he didn't need to because he was already past the line of scrimmage.
Another flag on the play. Holmes shooting themselves in the foot now.
On green. Oh, no.
Have a little microphone problems tonight with Emilio Landeros, but you get the idea. Holding against the Huskies. Negates another big game by Jesse Vara.
Yeah, that's some big plays tonight that have been wiped out, but so far it hasn't cost him. get those big fellas on the outside, you can just chuck it up there and let them go make a play for you. I'm curious to see if they roll some of these safeties. They only have a single high this time, so they're gonna. Looks like Harlandale's picking their poison.
Marquise Jones in the backfield for the first time tonight. He's there to pick up the blitz, and he makes the block, thrown to this side and caught. And that's Kieran McCall again. Made the big catch on 3rd and 20. That's going to set up 3rd and maybe a measurement.
Really nice job by McCall on that one, Don. I mean, he was coming out of his route. He actually fell down. Was able to get to his feet. Obviously has really good hands because that's not easy to do.
They're going to give him the first. Another Braceland first down for the Holmes Huskies, and Jesse Vara's got the Huskies on the move.
Indeed, and right at the right time too, because it's been a little bit of a slow start. You don't want to give up a couple of scores and not be able to counter.
Jake Lee on the slot on the near side. He's joined by McCall, Duhan, and Quintavious. Over the middle, intended for Duhan. Couldn't quite hang on. A great diving effort. Just a little low, but he sold out for it and just couldn't hang on once he hit the ground. And Vara says, that's on me. I should throw it a little higher.
Yeah, really good job, though, by Duhan getting open. That play, if they could have connected on that, might have gone to the house. Holmes definitely had their opportunities here. They've connected on quite a bit of these. And I think we're in for a shootout tonight at some point.
Marquise Jones again, the back. Quintavious Wright, Jake Lee, and John Duhan all split out on 2nd down and 10. Reverse action coming this way to Duhan. Harlandale read it perfectly, and being dropped is Duhan, a big number 65. The Harlandale Indians, that's Jonathan Gonzalez, and that'll do it here at the end of the first quarter. Harlandale 14, Holmes nothing, but the Huskies threatening on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's a full moon out here at Gustafson Stadium. And isn't a husky a form of a wolf? I don't know if that means anything.
I know you're not asking me that. Uh-oh.
Vara's got space. Coming up to drill him is number 35, Ryan Jaramillo, sophomore, making the tackle, but not before he gets into the red zone. And it's a first down, the Vantage College red zone.
Willie Garza helped finishing off that play. I think you might have seen it. Freaking block right there at the end.
They like him, boy.
Yeah, they do.
Mara's stutter stepping. Yeah, Willie Garza, number 64, the right guard for Holmes, is a kid who's got a great frame. College is starting to take a look at him. Incarnate Word has interest. 64 in green is a good young offensive line prospect.
64 on the Indians isn't a bad player either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting, Don. I mean, you know, Coach Salas was telling us our defense is going to have to carry us till our, skill guys kind of grow up, but they've been holding their own tonight quite well.
Vara throwing this side, getting it to Quintavious Wright. Look at him. Quintavious spinning inside the 5. Ryan Jaramillo there with the tackle, but Q, as they call him, showing why he's such a special talent at 6'5", 210.
Well, what's interesting about him was when he showed up this summer, Coach Salas told a great story. He said, his secretary called and said, hey, Coach, we have a kid down here that wants to play football. And Coach Salas says, okay, just put him in the football program. And he goes, no, I don't think you understand. You need to come down here right now. So he did, and there he was, 6'5", all of them, trying to duck underneath the door. And
Ball's,
was it loose?
Ball's out. But getting it back was DeQuarian Haney.
But yeah, you don't expect an athlete like that to just show up on your doorstep. And they said, yeah, the coaches up in Fort Worth had nothing but good things to say about the young man. And apparently he's bought into the culture right away and made an immediate impact. And yeah, you're right. I think next year the scouts are really going to be looking at him when he's a senior.
They got 6'5" on about 5'11" over there on the right side. They might just throw up the fade right here. Instead, it's Haney, and they mark him short.
Got in.
On this side, the line judge says good. Touchdown, Holmes. Adrian Aguinaro there would make the tackle, but not before DQ got in for 6.
He looks a little bit like Randall Cobb in the face, but I'll tell you what, he did a really nice job of taking off that first tackle and sneaking his way into the end zone for the 6.
Oh, nope, it's no good. No touchdown.
Yeah, you're right. Now the line judge here on the near side signaled touchdown last time too. So
I think we have competing line judges tonight. I think they want to overrule each other. Jesse Vara scores for Holmes to make it 14-6. They're an extra point away from making it a 1-score game. Brian Gonzalez will try to kick the extra point.
Either that or we're just clairvoyant. We knew it was coming.
The kick is up, and it is good. It's 14-7. The Huskies get on the scoreboard here on their homecoming. Good ball game for you. We told you it was going to be a close one. Stay with us on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Jesse Vara's 1-yard run caps off a 13-play, 61-yard drive. It took 5:37 off the clock, and it gets the Holmes Huskies back in the football game. As Brian Gonzalez gets ready to kick it off to John Navarro and Ryan Jaramillo.
It was a really nice bounce-back drive, just what the Huskies ordered. Now, this is an interesting team. A season ago, they won 4 games, and that was the first time they'd done that in many, many years. And Coach Salas makes no bones about it. I mean, they want to be a playoff team this year for sure.
It's going to be Jaramillo going to take it, tiptoe, and get past the 25-yard line as we go down to Mike Hernandez. Mike?
All right, and I'm joined by Daniel Lugo, and he's the Husky band director. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing fantastic. It's a great day to be a Husky.
It is. You guys, a great game going on as well. The team looks good. Both of them do. You got a little something special tonight, though, because this is homecoming tonight here.
Yes. Homecoming, we're welcoming all our alumni and from the 70s and from last year. We're going to be performing My Girl as background music to the homecoming court as they're presented, and we're announcing the king and queen tonight.
Nice. There's a little piano action.
Yes. We're wearing our tuxedos, so to speak, and playing the background music.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Always look forward to hearing the Husky band play.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mike. Christian Virial, and the keeper there, picks up half of what they need for the first down. A nice run on first down. Picks up 5. It's 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, Mauricio Martinez doing a really nice job. He was spying on that play. He just lost his footing.
Christian Virial, an interesting story. He was first-team All-District last year as a running back. He moved him to quarterback this year, and it's paid off as the Indians are off to a 3-0 start, showing he can toss it a little bit. Key throw in overtime last week to beat Central Catholic.
Yeah, and the window that he threw it through last week was just unbelievable.
He's ready to sling it. Now he's going to show off his running back skills as he gets out to the 40 and brought down right there. Christian Brewer on the tackle. Good enough, though, for a Braceland first down.
Looked like he had gone down a little bit awkwardly on that knee, but
yeah, I thought it was maybe a face mask, the way that he went down.
Christian popping right
or
back
a horse
up.
Collar, yeah. He's tough. Sends his 3 wides out there: Medina, Ruiz, Castano. Instead, he hands to the sophomore Navarro. He's met right at the line of scrimmage, but he bounces forward for a gain of about 3.
Boy, there's a lot of football in that guy right there, the running back. And we talk about it week in and week out. You see the really good ones, Don, when they're met at the line of scrimmage or there's some contact, they always fall forward for 1 or 2 more yards. And the young man took a shot right there and still was able to make it a gain out of it.
Steven Benitez checks into the football game. Last time he was in, then we had a little trick play where it was a double pass. He's kind of a slot guy that they like to throw underneath too. And again, he's the only one who's attempted other passes this year. He will be soloed up at the bottom of your screen as Medina, Ruiz, and Castano go to the right side. That's the way that Villarreal throws, and he throws over the middle, just miscommunication with Ruiz, who looks over at his coaching staff and says, my bad, I must have not gotten the signals correctly.
You know, I'm thinking, Don, that was more self-preservation. He had 4 or 5 guys about to barrel down on him, so he just threw it down the middle of the field as far as he could to get rid of it. You know, live to fight another down. Don't blame him there, because Holmes pinning their ear back. You're back there, 3 or 4 of those guys.
All right, so it's 3rd down and 7 for the Indians. Again, trips to the right-hand side. Villarreal rolls. He's hit as he throws, but gets it out there, and it's caught and drilled down. A flag goes in late. Castano made the tackle. He was driven down, or the reception, he was driven to the ground by number 28, Cipriano Sierra, and then the flag flew late.
Yeah, I bet they're going to call pass interference, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see the timing of this.
I didn't think it was pass interference, and I think what he saw was a personal foul, the way he slammed him to the ground, but I thought that was a legal tackle. We'll see.
Defensive pass interference on green. Catch was good. 1st down.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was a hold earlier in the route.
Well, we'll see. No, it was on the back end here, but we'll see if he got there in time or if he got there early. It's hard to tell from that angle. Let's see over here. Yep, smidge too early, so good call.
Good call. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle, ball's out. Holmes says they have it. Holmes says, Holmes' coaching staff is like, that's our football. Got an injury down, by the way. They call him down there. They're going to call it 2nd down and 10, or 2nd down and about 9. And while they tend to the injured young man, we'll send it to break, and we'll sort it out when we come back. Harlandale over Holmes, 14-7 on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back. Good to see John Navarro run off the field under his own power. Couldn't really tell on the replay if he fumbled that football, but the referees say no, so it is 2nd down and 9. They'll hand to Miguel Leal, who's in there for him. And Holmes' defense reads that one well, and maybe a gain of half a yard. Davion Frazier is blowing things up tonight from the safety spot.
Yeah, number 63 for Harlandale, Jacob Lopez, their center, is out of the game right now, so they're having to fill in, and that's probably going to mess with their continuity until they get going. Jacob Lopez is in there right now. So, Jacob Lopez is out. Robert Martinez is in. So, we'll see if Harlandale can adjust with one of their big guys up front sitting on the sideline. 3rd down and 10. Villarreal floats it over there, and it's caught, but it really picks up only about 3. And Steven Ruiz caught it. Saucedo hit him right as he caught it. So it's 4th down and 5 at the 30. Really good job keeping his eyes downfield. Look at that. Guy right in his face. He still delivers the ball out there. And nice game. Give him a chance here on 4th down. 4 down territory, but the ball's at the 29-yard line. Benitez joins Sandoval on the left side. Villarreal rolls right, throws it down the sideline. It's caught there at the 20, good for a 1st down. Struggling forward is Dylan Medina, who's good for a prompt 1st down inside the Vantage red zone. Holmes, you can tell, just wanted to keep everything in front of him there, but Harlandale doing a nice job rolling the pocket. Great throw on the run. Christian actually had his choice of 2 receivers down there and found 82 for the 1st down. Leal coming this way on a top sweep. Flag flies as he gets inside the 10, but that's probably going to be a hold, as a student body left rolled this way. Got some Yankees on the field tonight. A lot of penalties hurting both teams' drives.
Holmes has had a couple of drive killers. All right, so as you heard, it's still second down. Ball spotted at the 20, so they'll back it up 10. It'll be second down from the 25.
Get all the way down to the 5 for a first down, so this is first and a lot, 20.
Another flag.
Procedure. Harlandale. Still first down.
Louis Perez was the one who jumped.
You know, you're missing your center up front. Sometimes that can throw you off on your offense and the rhythm of your offense, especially when you're Harlandale and you like to go as quick as you can.
All right, so it's first and 25 for the Harlandale Indians. Christian Villarreal says, no problem. I got these guys I can throw it to. Instead, they run the quarterback draw. He does a nice job of finding a hole and getting up about 9 or 10 of it back. Ethan Ramirez there to tackle him. Spread you out wide and then run it where they ain't.
Gash them up the middle. You got plenty of downs to work with here, and the way they've been moving the football, they've been able to overcome these penalties so far.
So second and 16 for Villarreal. Since Castano and Ruiz to the right, also there with Medina. Play action, going back to this side. He was knocked down, and we're going to get a flag for pass interference as the intended receiver was tripped up right as the ball was getting to Jesse Sandoval.
It's a tough play for a defender. You know, the ball's kind of thrown in your area, and when the receiver stops, sometimes it's kind of hard to stop yourself or stop your momentum, but that was an easy call to make. And so,
Interference on green. First down.
Yeah, the problem with that is not the yardage, but it makes it an automatic first down.
A little of this, a little of that from Isaac Martinez as usual. Really being patient on these long drives.
First and 10 now, which makes it more manageable. As Leal carries. Still haven't seen Navarro since he limped off. Mason Meffert with the tackle. That'll set up second down and call it 8.
This is going to be a big stand right here for Holmes. Got to try to keep these guys out of the end zone because Harlandale's doing a really nice job of not only moving the football but killing clock as well.
Keep your eye on 84, Sandoval in the slot on the near side. He's looking his way. Big fella's going to go get it. Caught. Touchdown. Jesse Sandoval, man-to-man, is just something the Harlandale Indians love to see, and Villarreal picked it up and went right to his favorite target.
Might have got away with a little shove off there at the end, but he was real subtle about it. God, he's a big kid. Not going to be able to see it, I think, because he already created some space separation there, but the kid's just not going to miss any footballs, and boy, is he a wide target.
Francisco Laredo on to try to make it a 2-touchdown game. Sandoval had 2 touchdowns coming into this game and 14 catches on the year. He's added to that total tonight. Good-looking young football player. Tall, fast, solid, got some size to him for blocking. And yeah, the way he looked at the official, Chuck, was almost like expecting a flag as well. Didn't get it, so he'll celebrate. Good stuff for the Harlandale fans.
Yeah, these Indians, I'll tell you what, Don, I think the thing that is impressed mostly you and I is the fact that there's some big boys on this team.
Yeah.
They're big, and bigger. And it's interesting, too, because of how many young guys they've got. You know, they got a sophomore class in here that Coach Isaac's really excited about. You know, he said they've won as little leaguers, they won in middle school, and kind of the older kids, like Sandoval, they've taken some of these younger kids on and really taken them under their wings, and it's really been interesting to watch this team develop and the mix that they have, young and old. And right now, you have to say 3.5 weeks into the season, these guys are rolling pretty good, and not a surprise as to why they're ranked 9th in our TNL poll.
Yeah, a lot of the kids, the names that we have called tonight, the receiving core, Steven Ruiz is just a sophomore. They're one of their best defenders. Ryan Jaramillo, who returns kicks, is just a sophomore. Barca, who leads them in interceptions. Number 24, who's made some big tackles tonight, just a sophomore. And, of course, number 21, their starting running back. So, boy, wait till this Harlandale team grows up here in a couple of years.
Yeah, Coach Isaac's got a bunch of his old coaches coaching the Little League team. So these Indians know what they're doing from a young age on.
That's right. Those Southside little Cowboys grow up to be Harlandale Indians wearing the Redskin logo. Let's go down to the field with Mike Hernandez. Mike?
All right, thank you, guys. I'm joined by Riley Walker from San Antonio Sports. How you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you know what? Great game out there right now. Great weather, by the way, and a full moon. What else could you ask for right now?
What are the odds?
Let's talk about this All-Star game that's coming up, because every week it's a little closer, and a lot of local talent gets to play in it. It's just a great event.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to see the best in high school sports, tune in January 7th. Not only will we have the best high school players in the area play, but we're piggybacking off of the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, which is going to be the top players in the nation in the Alamo Dome. It's going to be really exciting.
It really, really is. And there's also, you have the cheer, the All-Star cheer that's going on. Tell us a little bit about that and how people can get involved.
Yeah, so the top four cheerleaders this year will have an opportunity to cheer on either national television on NBC or local television, CW35, and actually win some money. Registration's going on right now, so if any cheer squads want to sign up, they can do that by going to sanantoniosports.org/cheer.
Okay, Riley, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
a lot of action going on the field, too, guys.
Yeah, Marquise Jones just busted one for Holmes, and now they hand off. Well, they faked me out. Dara keeps after a nice fake to John Duhan.
Really good play to get Holmes going here. They'd love to be able to get some points before halftime and make this a one-possession game if possible.
Marquise Jones, just a junior, but you can see his explosiveness. They like Haney there as the starter, but they like to mix it up with both of them. And I like to use Duhan's speed. He's a receiver, but we fake the zone sweep to him there, and Vara keeps again. Picks up maybe one or two. Willie Gonzalez trying to clear the lane. Holmes will take a timeout here, trailing by 2 touchdowns with a $1:54 here to go. Very key drive here for Holmes to try to get one more score on the board before the break.
And that's one of the things that Coach Salas was so worried about tonight's game. He goes, Coach Martinez's teams, they're always in the playoffs. They're steady. They're always in the right place, multifaceted on offense. All of those things were a huge concern, and we've seen a lot of that tonight already.
Homecoming here, so a lot of smiling faces for the Holmes Husky. Smile Cam brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at UIW. Fans of all ages. We got babies. We got teams that are being honored from the 70s, and you can stick around for the Cerritos Restaurant halftime show. Coming up, we'll have the Harlandale Band, and of course the Mighty Husky Band paying tribute to the court era, the homecoming court, and they're also going to honor the 1976 team. 3rd down and 7. Vara rolls right, fires that way. He's got his big target, Quinn Wright. And Wright is not going down. He's got a first down and a promptu first down.
Such a big target and really showing off the strong hands on that one. Good throw, too, by 7. Right on the button. Have a very big window on that one to throw through.
Promptu immediate care. First down for Jesse Vara, and Holmes is on the move with 1:35 and counting left in the half. Fires over the middle. Duhan's got it. Caught right about the 20.
Great job by Duhan that time. That ball was thrown behind him, still was able to get his mitts out there and bring it back in.
They run Duhan to the right side. Jake Lee makes it trips left as Quinn Wright's over there as well. call is singled up at the top of your screen. Vara bails out. He's under a lot of pressure, and the Harlandale Indians have him sacked for a loss, as Jonathan Gonzalez was the second one there, but he finishes the tackle.
Well, you got to like the fight, number 7. He drops back. Boy, that's a great spin move. I mean, that's the second time he's used that move, but man, it's tough when you got 3 or 4 guys back there barreling down on you, and finally he goes down.
Abarca, the safety, blitzed. Again, he's another one of those super sophomores at Harlandale.
Serge Abarca?
You're not making a lot of tackles.
Abarca.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's pretty close, right?
Well, I know. I heard Jake Lee tonight, too, so I was thinking Jake E. Lee, the guy that replaced Randy Rhodes and Ozzy's band back in the day. No?
You lost me, bro. Ozzy's band being Black Sabbath?
No, just his solo project stuff.
Oh, okay.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, you got me there.
We got the all-name things going tonight. Jesse Vara, let's see what you got. Second in a bunch.
I think Jay Lee, the wide receiver for Baylor Bears. No?
We should probably just watch the football game.
Second down and a mile. Vara throws it. McCall's got it. About the 26. He's going to set up a really crucial third down here. It's going to be 3rd and 15, maybe 3rd and 16.
I think it's time to go to the end zone right here.
Well, he's got Quinn Wright soloed up on this side. Instead, he goes to McCall. He's got a man open, and it's just through the outstretched hands of Sergio Estrada, who was going to have to make a tough catch as that ball went over his right shoulder back towards his left, and he just couldn't locate the football.
Oh, he did everything but get it on the back end. Ran himself open, and yeah, it's hard to tell. You may not have been able to pick it up in the lights.
4th down. Now they're going for Wright on this side. Big fella got it. Caught. Touchdown. Quinn Wright, the transfer from Fort Worth, Texas, has made a lot of new friends at school. You do that like that with 31 seconds to go. Holmes is back on the board.
Yeah, isn't it funny, Don, how size shows up every week, doesn't matter the level. I mean, this was just simply one of those deals where you go run down the field, go make a play for me, and he did. You know, I thought it did a really good job, too, the referees did, by not calling anything. There was a little contact down there at the back end, but I think it was incidental. That time they ate the flag, and that time Q pulled it down for the touchdown.
On 4th down is Adiel Nunez will try the extra point, and it is good. Back to a 2-score game, 27-13, as you take a look at Quinn Wright. And it gives us time to tell you about our $2,500 band grant, courtesy of North Carolina Furniture Direct in San Marcos. Harlandale and Holmes, the 2 bands tonight. One of these bands that we'll have all year will win the $2,500 band grant. If you like Harlandale, just text band 7 to 45203. If you want Holmes, text band 8 to 45203. And the band on TNL that we have all season long that gets the most texts will win our $2,500 band grant, courtesy of North Carolina Furniture Direct in San Marcos.
Well, Don, you talked about the Holmes Huskies are going to be honoring some of their teams of the past tonight, and Harlandale did the same thing last week. They had the anniversary, the 50-year anniversary of their only 10-0 team in school history in the 92 years of the high school. And I guess they beat McCollum that year. I'm sorry, Brack, 8-7. There were like 20,000 people at Alamo Stadium.
What year?
Sylvester Perez just texted me.
What year?
50 years ago, so do the math, bro.
66. 66. The 76 Holmes team lost to Churchill in the city championship game. The Chargers, David Darr and company, went on to win the state championship. But Holmes gave them a great game. They were coached by Frank Arnold at the time. We got time left on the clock, and Jaramillo will give Harlandale a chance with 24 seconds to go.
And this is the thing. I mean, you talk about all the years of the high school they've been playing football over at Harlandale. I mean, these guys off to a 3-0 start look very impressive tonight. And they're going to be they're going to be a force in 29-5A. You can rest assured of that. I mean, we've seen enough of that tonight.
Coming up tonight after the game on the CW35, stick around for the Flash and then Beauty and the Beast. It's all coming up after Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. You know, people forget before he built that dynasty at Judson, Frank Arnold coached at Holmes and had very good teams. Great players, man. Jimmy Hawkins in the early 80s. Rene Maldonado.
Oh, wow.
What a shot. 31, Ethan Ramirez. Hit Villarreal right in the sternum. And
yeah, he'd like a little sauce with those ribs, but to Villarreal's credit, man, he just popped right back up like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Harlandale doing a good job using the timeout to see if they can get closer, maybe an explosive play, maybe a long field goal attempt.
Man.
Ethan Ramirez.
That looked much worse in real time, didn't it?
Got some TNL fans. Check it out. We got a sign tonight. TNL Holmes Harlandale, the CW35. We got you. You got on TV.
Yeah, we've had a really nice game, and you know, I think we expected we'd see some offensive fireworks in this game, but I think it even exceeded what we thought going in. Big plays on both sides. Both offenses look really, really good, really talented, keeping the other defenses off balance. And this is really a big stand for Holmes. Just get out of here and keep it a one-point game, or a one-possession game, I should say.
All right, find 84. There's a good chance they'll be looking for him. Villarreal's going to actually just run it up the middle, and that might do it. That'll stop the clock to move the sticks. I don't know if they'll run it off here. Nope, they take a timeout too, so they stop the clock to move the sticks, and then Harlandale takes another timeout, and they may have one Hail Mary or so. Isaac has already broken out the double pass once tonight. He's got a lot of tricks in his bag.
Been doing it for a long time, and there aren't many better in the city in terms of guys that have their system and what he's given these kids, both, you know, as a coach and, you know, as a man too.
Oh yeah, man. He said to me this week that he's got guys that are 45, 50 years old that he coached that are grandfathers now that come back and talk about the impact that he had on his life.
Yeah, and he still calls them kids too. That's
yeah,
the best
they're
part
grandparents.
And he's fit as a fiddle. I mean, he looks great.
No, I mean, very few guys do as good a job as Isaac. He's a dad and a coach and a teacher and a mentor, and he's had a huge impact on so many lives. You know, football is one of those games that teaches a lot of kids how to overcome adversity and discipline, and he's earned a lot of fans over the years for the kids he's coached. All right, so they're going to throw it to the near side, getting out of bounds. I believe Dylan Medina kept his feet in, so that stops the clock with 5. Nice little clock management here. Isaac could teach Jason Garrett a thing or two.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, pick up 10 yards on the play. Give yourself a chance that you can throw it into the end zone here with the last play of the first half.
They're going to have one shot at it, and they have methodically, using their timeouts, smartly use a quarterback draw, use an out route. Now they got a legitimate chance at throwing something up from 45, 50 yards.
Yeah,
the arm strength of their quarterback.
Well, I mean, on that play too, you know, the backup quarterback Steven Benitez, number 12, was actually in on that formation. So if you're Holmes, on the lookout for anything right here.
Speaking of Jason Garrett, got lots of football for you all weekend long on the Sinclair family of networks on Fox 29 at noon. Chuck is headed to our nation's capital to cover the Cowboys and Redskins. We'll have all the coverage on Max Sports on Fox 29 and Sports Sunday on News 4. And then on News 4 on Sunday night, we've got Chuck's Packers taking on the Vikings in their brand new stadium. That's at 7 o'clock after Football Night in America on News 4 San Antonio.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if David Morgan II gets in that ball game, because the Vikings had some injury issues at that spot this week. And there's David Morgan, the draft pick out of UTSA, and all-around good guy.
Yeah.
Vikings have quite a few San Antonians on their team, actually. Robertson grew up here. Sendejo played at Smithson Valley.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a team to like.
I know you're not. You got yours.
I like those guys, though.
All right.
Hard to pull against them.
We're going to do a little hook and ladder here. Yes, sir. It is going to run out of real estate. His nice call by Isaac, but Dylan Medina can't quite get in there. A nice. That was the old-fashioned Miami Dolphin hook and ladder from the 82 playoff game against the Chargers.
The Huskies doing a really nice job staying at home right there, too, and not allowing them to score.
Mike Hernandez is going to run down Coach Salas and give us time to go down to the field and see how they like it. I bet you they're feeling pretty good right now, Mike.
Yeah, and I bet you Coach Salas is feeling pretty good right now. All in all, it was a very competitive first half.
Absolutely, and we knew this was going to happen. They're a great team and ball club, and right now we just need to make a few adjustments, eliminate some of our penalties, and we'll be back in this ball game. So I'm excited for that part at least.
Yeah, penalties seem to slow you down more than anything.
Absolutely, and I think every time momentum's everything in this game, and when it's being stopped, it's a little hard to get adjusted, and so we'll make sure we get it right and start over in the second half.
All right, well, good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Appreciate
Can't wait to see it.
All right, thanks, Mike. Eddie Salas' Holmes Huskies trail the Harlandale Indians. It is 21-14 here at halftime. And when we come back, we'll have the Cerritos halftime show. We'll hear from the Harlandale Band, and it's homecoming for Holmes. So don't go anywhere on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Welcome to the Cerritos Mexican Restaurant Halftime Show.
All right, and welcome back. I'm on the field now, joined by Caitlin Munoz, our CW Insider. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited.
Say, you got now that's kind of unusual. I'm interested in this. This has got to do with the Fighting Irish, which is one of my favorite teams.
Yeah, it just started today. So if you text Shamrock, how appropriate for the Irish, to our number, you're going to win a ticket to the game. It's Notre Dame versus the Army. It's in November at the Alamo Dome, but we're starting it today. So get out your phones. 45203 is the number. Shamrock is the magic word.
Okay, save 2 for your Theo Mike, okay?
Yeah, I'll save some for you. We don't have to tell anybody. We don't have to tell anybody.
All right, yeah, that's great. Shh. All right, enjoy the halftime show, guys.
I got all set. I forgot the number for a second. I was like, what's the number? What's the number? What's the number? I really forgot the number.
Nice job by the Harlandale Band. If you'd like to vote for the Indian Band for our North Carolina Furniture Direct in San Marcos $2,500 band grant, just text Band 7 to 45203. The Holmes Husky Band is coming up next, and it's homecoming, so that will be a great performance as well.
Welcome to the Cerritos Mexican Restaurant Halftime Show.
Welcome back to our Cerritos Halftime Show. Harlandale leads Holmes in a good one, 21-14. We're going to hear from the Holmes Band coming up for their homecoming performance. But first, it's time for our Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's time to recognize some great hard-working kids. With our Scholar Athletes of the Week, Mike Hernandez has that, presented by Vulcan Materials Company.
This week's Scholar Athletes are both young ladies. First meet Madeline Mendez, a senior at Harlandale High School. She's been on the varsity since she was a freshman and is now the captain of the volleyball team. And that's a responsibility she doesn't take lightly.
They're all younger than me. I'm the oldest on the team, and so they're going to be the ones that take my role after I leave, so I need to help them as much as I can.
Maddie is carrying a 98.8 GPA and is ranked in the top 3% of her class. But once again, she knows what's important.
Well, I know my priority is school. I manage my time. I would get home like at 10, and I would stay up late till like 2 doing homework and things. But I know it had to get done, and so I would do it.
And not surprisingly, this mature young lady knows exactly what she wants to do after high school.
I'm gonna go to college. I want to be a general surgeon. So, yes. So I want to focus on academics.
When she's not doing her thing, she dedicates her time helping other young ladies develop good work ethics, responsibility, teamwork, and leadership skills, qualities she definitely possesses. Our next Scholar Athlete is Annabelle Carodi, a 3-sport athlete, volleyball, track, and cross country at Holmes High School. But she says volleyball is her favorite.
Actually, we have a lot of seniors on our team, so it's nice to have that relationship with them. I've played with them for more than 1 year. So it's just a fun team to be around, knowing like what jokes we can make at each other and how to react around each other.
And since volleyball season and cross country happened at about the same time, Annabelle stays pretty busy juggling those 2 sports, and yet she still finds time to help others. And of the many things she volunteers her time to, mentoring is one of her favorites.
I know sometimes things don't come naturally to students. Sometimes they have to study, and I didn't figure that out till high school, because all throughout middle school it was kind of like just breeze by, but high school you actually have to learn different studying habits and how to make things stick, so just sharing that with other students.
Annabelle Carodi and Madeline Mendez, 2 outstanding young ladies with very bright futures, and this week's Vulcan Materials Company Scholar Athletes of the Week.
Welcome to the Cerritos Mexican Restaurant Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the Cerritos Halftime Show. Harlandale leads Holmes 21-14. It's homecoming for the Holmes Huskies. Let's go down to the field and listen to the mighty Husky Band and introduce to the homecoming court.
Husky JV football team. Kaylee is the daughter of Miss Lina Rueda. Kaylee is part of the Holmes Golden Bells dance team. Representing the junior class are our Prince, Mario de Leon, and Princess Judith Sanchez. Mario is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Mario de Leon. Mario has been a part of the Husky baseball team for the past 3 years. Judith is the daughter of Edgar Sanchez and Blanca Cobos. Judith is part of the Husky Golden Bells dance team. And now the nominees for King and Queen: Elijah Kane Brogan and Stormy Rice. Kane is the son of Mr. and Mrs. James Brogan. Kane has been part of the Husky swim and water polo teams for the past 4 years. He is seeking to continue his education at the University of Texas at San Antonio. Stormy Rice is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Eric Rice. She has been a part of the Husky journalism staff for the past 3 years and will be attending the University of North Texas after graduation. Jay Cruz and Madison Lozano. Jay is the son of Miss Giovanna DeSarden. Jay has been part of the varsity football team for the past 3 years. He is also a member of the Husky track team and is currently serving his second term as class president. Jay will be attending Texas Lutheran University after graduation. Madison is the daughter of Miss Cynthia Contreras. Madison has been a Husky athletic trainer for the past 3 years. She is seeking to attend McMurray University. Kobe Mancias and Caitlin Rodriguez. Kobe is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Joe Mancias. Kobe has been on the Husky cheer team for the past 4 years. Kobe will be attending Northwest Vista College after graduation. Caitlin is the daughter of Miss Sandra Rodriguez. She is currently in our National Honor Society and National English Honor Society, and has been a member of the speech and debate team for the past 3 years. She is seeking to continue her education at Texas State University. George A. Osorto and Alexis Casiano. George is the son of Mr. George A. Osorto Sr. George was a member of the Husky cross-country team and football team and is part of the Husky Chess Club. George is seeking to attend University of Texas Health Science Center of San Antonio after graduation. Alexis is the daughter of Mrs. Cynthia Hernandez. Alexis was a team member on the girls varsity basketball team for 3 years and is currently a member of the National Honor Society and National Spanish Honor Society. She is seeking to attend the University of A&M in College Station. Devon Fraser and Chloe Sanders. Devon is the son of Miss Angela Fraser. Devon has been on the varsity football team for the past 3 years. He is seeking to attend Boise State University. Chloe is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Gary Owens. She has been a part of the Huskies Golden Bell Stand team for the past 2 years. She is seeking to attend Baylor University after graduation. And now to introduce to you your homecoming king and queen. This year's king is Jay Cruz. And your queen, Madison Lozano. Congratulations to the entire homecoming court.
There's your king and queen, everybody. Congratulations to the Holmes Huskies. We're coming back with a good football game. Harlandale over Holmes at the half, 21-14. He's gonna have to take off his crown and put on his football helmet. We'll be right back.
Watching the Cerritos Mexican Restaurant Halftime Show. Stay tuned for the second half kickoff.
Who is Vulcan Materials Company? You see our trucks on roads all over San Antonio and the surrounding area. But what do we do? Well, our story began over 100 years ago, and today we are the nation's largest producer of aggregates. That's stone, sand, and gravel. Plus, we produce construction-based materials including asphalt and ready-mixed concrete, the stuff to build the roads you travel, the schools your kids attend, and the homes you live in. Everywhere you look, you will see our footprint. Our story is one built on the talent, dedication, and performance of our employees. Hardworking San Antonians just like you. Our mission is to be responsible stewards with respect to the safety and environmental impact of our operations and products. In other words, we want to be your good neighbor, doing the right thing, the right way, all the time. The Vulcan way. Who are we? We're the ones helping to build a rock-solid future in San Antonio. Vulcan Materials Company, proud sponsor of Thursday Night Lights and Scholar Athletes.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Harlandale leads Holmes 21-14, and it's now time to look at our halftime highlights tonight. We've had a lot of them. Harlandale got on the board first. Stephen Ruiz on this nice move scores to make it 7-0, and Harlandale would then take a 14-0 lead on the quarterback sneak by Christian Sandoval. But Holmes was going to get right back in it. Vara, their quarterback, scores on a sneak of his own. Not sure he got in, but he stretched the ball over there to make it 14-7. Sandoval with a great catch there to make it 21-7. Harlandale, and then Quinn Wright, the 6'5" receiver for the Huskies, made it a one-score game on a huge 4th down play, and that's where we stand. It's 21-14. Harlandale. Chuck, as we look at the stats, this is a team, we said coming into this game it was going to be 2 very good teams and 2 evenly matched teams, and it has not disappointed.
No, it really hasn't, Don. And what I'm really surprised about is the offense on both of these teams. I mean, I thought we were going to see a little bit more of a defensive
struggle.
struggle.
That tonight's game is being broadcast.
But, as it turns out, we've had a little bit of a track meet here so far.
We always appreciate the plug from the PA guy saying that the game's broadcast and reminding people if they leave early to go tune in the CW35. All right, so the Holmes Huskies are back on the field. We await the arrival of the Harlandale Indians, who they've got an ice cream theme going for their breakthrough tonight. They got a double breakthrough. They have the blow-up tunnel behind that breakthrough. So here they come. Chuck, I don't know about you. Did you have a tunnel in high school?
No, but we had banners. That dates back to prehistoric times.
Absolutely, I worked on banners. That was a deal where they, you had to paint and you had to tape them all together. And I was not a very good art student, but I helped paint. They would outline it. The art students would outline it. Then you'd have to get it passed by the athletic director of the journalism department because you didn't want to be inappropriate. Some of them were borderline.
Oh, you crazy kids over at Churchill.
I don't remember what we said about Madison.
I'm sure it wasn't very nice, whatever it was. It's all right. We were just growing up back then. Looks like Harlandale's going to have to overcome some injuries. We were talking about their center that missed a lot of the first half, and Johnny Navarro, their running back, is out of uniform. So it's been quite a tussle in terms of physicality in this football game, about what you'd expect. And I'll tell you what, these Indians, they've really done a nice job on offense tonight, mixing things up and overcoming all kinds of penalties. Haven't had to punt the ball yet. And Holmes has only punted it once. So we'll see if the trend continues here in the second half. It's a golden opportunity for Holmes, Don, to start the second half and maybe square this game up.
Duhan is back there. And now they switch it. And they send
Duhan's
Jones
quite the
back
athlete
there.
too. I mean, Duhan is a 3-year starter, started as a corner as a sophomore and junior. Now he's moved to wide receiver.
McCall's got it. He takes it across the 35. As Isaac Barrera makes the tackle, and here comes Jesse Varr and company. Let's go down to the sidelines and Mike Hernandez. Mike?
Yeah, hey, guys, I got a chance to talk to Harlandale head coach Isaac Martinez just a couple of minutes ago. Asked him what he thought adjustments that they needed to make. He said, no, he thought they played very well, both offensively and defensively. Thought they were moving the ball very well. He said, as far as on the defense, the only thing that happened was getting beat by those big, tall receivers from the Huskies. And he says, not much we can do about that except hope the quarterback doesn't throw a perfect pass.
Yeah, they've got a couple of good ones, a couple of tall targets there in Quinn Wright and Kieran McCall. Haney is the running back there with Vara. Sorry, it's Jones, Marquise Jones. They run Duhan on the toss sweep, but it's kept by Vara. Nice fake there, and he picks up about 4. David Juarez on the tackle. Yep, Haney started the game, and then Jones had a couple of big runs, and they moved him back there for the kickoff, and now they've got him starting the second half as the tailback back there with Vara.
Well, you can tell what Harlandale wants to do defensively. I mean, they're trying to take away the run, and they want Holmes to pass the football.
Quarterback keeper again. They're just trying to run it down their throat on their first 2 plays of the half. Maybe a gain of 1.
Tell you what, got some boys starting to mix this thing up.
Josh
kind of
Faber
like
in
it.
there. Sergio Arbarca. 3rd down and 5. And Quinn Wright is the top of your screen with single coverage.
Jonathan Gonzalez from Harlandale. And Jay Cruz from Holmes. Tell you what, it's like a couple of heavyweights in there knocking each other around.
A quick slant to Duhan. He's got the first down and more. Duhan off to the races. The Holmes Huskies are going to tie it up with an extra point. Touchdown, Holmes.
Wow, what a subtle little move that was after the catch, huh?
Duhan with some jets.
Yeah, just kind of sat down there in some space. Takes the ball and then, found a crease. You have to work on them angles next week during practice, but give credit to 22 where credit is due.
Brian Gonzalez will try to tie it up. Actually, it's Adair Nunez who will kick this one. Hold is good, kick is good, and we're all knotted up on Thursday Night Lights. We've got a good one, folks. Harlandale and Holmes on the CW35.
Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by Rodriguez Butcher Supply.
We're all tied up after the touchdown by that man right there. Number 22, John Duhan. Senior had no touchdowns coming in. That's his first of the year on a 52-yard slant. As Brian Gonzalez puts his foot into this one, it'll be taken by Leal at the 10. Leal gets to the 20, breaks and spins out of a tackle, and then he'll be brought down by a pack of Huskies, I believe it would be, right?
For sure.
They run in packs.
And speaking of packs, how about the crowd here tonight for Holmes? I mean, it's so cool to see what's going on over there at the school. Coach Salas has done a really nice job with the program, obviously, trying to exceed last year's 4-win season. And then, you know, the basketball team was really, really good this year. The baseball team was off the charts. You know, this is one of the most storied high schools in San Antonio. It's really cool to see the rebirth of the athletic program here, and all these coaches are doing a great job of getting it going.
Absolutely. Villarreal throws it out on a little swing pass to Stephen Ruiz, and it may be coming back though. We've got Laundry on the field. Mark Sauceda there with the tackle, and Ruiz feeling that one. Sauceda brings a punch when he tackles you, but it's coming back.
Holding. Harlandale. Still first down.
All right, so it'll be first and long as we give credit to Monarch Trophy. The trophy is designed by the award-winning team at Monarch Trophy Studio. We'll hand out the Player of the Game trophy and the team trophy. If you're looking for a trophy, plaque, or custom engraving, call Monarch at 210-344-3777. Monarch Trophy, always a sponsor of Church's Chicken and Thursday Night Lights. We appreciate their support over all these years. Leal carries on first and 17, and he picks up about 3. Mason Meffert with the tackle.
Yeah, we just saw Coach Salas, and as we look at Coach Martinez, I mean, the job that Coach Salas has done, you got to remember, Don, this senior group that they have in here won 1 ball game when they were freshmen. So, you know, you talk about what they've been able to build here, and I just find it astounding that you could see incremental growth year in and year out with what they've been able to do here.
Villarreal running for his life and throws incomplete. Yeah, I mean, just a fantastic turnaround, and also, you know, growing up, playing, you get experience as a young kid playing, plays sophomores and juniors, and again, you got 2 great coaches that when you're more concerned about turning out good young people, it's amazing how that transfers into W's with character.
You know, and that's been a big thing. You know, we can talk about that as well, what they're doing at Holmes in terms of building young men. But, you know, there's an expectation now that they want to win. Last year they were in it with O'Connor, and I think that opened up a lot of kids' eyes that they can play some football.
Villarreal handles another high snap, fires over the middle, and had 3 receivers in the area. Dylan Medina was the one who got his hands on it, but Indians will have to punt it away, and all the momentum in the world now goes to the Holmes Huskies.
Boy, you're not kidding. I mean, we got a great drive to start the third quarter where you go down and tie the ball game up, and then hadn't forced a punt all night until right now. So you're right, you can feel it right now. The Holmes Huskies starting to get a little confident.
And guess who's back to receive the punt? Duhan, young man who just scored the 52-yard touchdown. He's going to take that on a hop, try to get the crease, but doesn't. So it'll be, well, he's still fighting for yardage. He gets inside Indian territory, and that's where Holmes will have it, 49 yards away from taking the lead. 21 all. Gus, Holmes, and Harlandale. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights on the CW35.
And welcome back. I'm joined by Northside Independent School District Superintendent Dr. Brian Woods. How are you, Doctor?
Great. I'm doing great.
And this is a great game, yeah.
This is the place to be in San Antonio on a Thursday night. Great game. Really good.
It really is. And we were talking off camera there that you stay pretty busy because you go to a lot of games starting on Thursday night in this case and running through the weekend.
Right. We've got lots of opportunities to watch football in Northside, and actually this is our only game tonight, so get to stay here the whole game. And as you said, what a great opportunity to watch two teams with incredible tradition and history. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's got to be kind of special to be out here with TNL, be on TV and get to highlight the school district.
It really is. These kids love to play when they have the opportunity to watch themselves later on television. And you see we've got a great crowd on both sides tonight. It's an exciting place to be tonight.
Well, listen, thank you for all you do. You and I have crossed paths a few times, and you do a great job, and everybody seems to really, really like you, so I appreciate what you do.
Appreciate it.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, Haney has nowhere to go as the Indian defense stops him right at the line of scrimmage. Chris Lackey there. Chris Lackey, the coach is telling us, one of their captains on defense, one of their leaders playing the linebacker spot. And he blew that play up as we have second down and 11.
We're getting some college looks too, and you can see why.
Haney back there with Vara, who rolls this side. Wants to go deep, now fires over the middle or down the sideline. It's caught by McCall. Kieran McCall with a nice catch right in front of Isaac Barrera, who had good coverage.
Yeah, really impressed with Vara that time. Rolling to his left, never an easy throw, but look at what he does. Sets his feet, squares his shoulder, and then throws it to the outside where only his guy can catch the football.
It's a good throw by Vara. Huskies trailed in this ball game 21-7. They've come back to tie it up, and now they look to take the lead. Duhan joins Haney in the backfield there with Vara. McCall split to the left side. Quinn Wright to the right, and he's going to be targeted. No, it's Duhan again. Duhan to the 20, getting a block. Duhan down to the 10, and what a great job defensively as Quinn Wright tried to lock up the corner, but Daniel Trejo got off the block and was able to make the tackle. Otherwise, Duhan scores.
That, and let's give credit where credit is due as well up front. Willie Garza doing a nice job pulling that time and actually chipped a couple of guys and gave his guy a throwing lane. But, wow, really nice play, well designed, and Holmes is not to be stopped right now the way they're going.
Braceland first down inside the Vantage College red zone as Haney takes it on the toss sweep, gets to the 5, he's pushed out of bounds. Holmes is in rhythm. Richard Rodriguez with the tackle. Tick inside of 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Isaac wants his big guys to make a stand right here.
Quinn Wright to the right, McCall to the left, Duhan in the slot right. Got two really tall targets split wide against DBs that are much shorter. Instead, Vara will keep it right up the middle, and he's got room following big number 64, Willie Gonzalez. You see why they like him so much.
And Vara doing a really nice job. You know, we thought we might see both quarterbacks tonight, but so far, it's been Vara the whole way. We talked about James Valdez, the other quarterback that they had that they started the season with, has been nursing a high ankle sprain. We thought we might see him a little bit tonight, but you can't argue with the results right now. Holmes has really done a nice job moving the football, especially to start the second half.
Third down, you can get a first down. He's dancing for it. It's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 1 inside the 5 with the chance of getting a fresh set of downs without scoring. Actually, it's going to be more like 2. Where they've spotted a long 2.
You know, it's interesting, Don, watching both kickers from both schools. They look like they're both very, very talented. But, hey, it's the preseason. Why not roll the bones? Still early third quarter.
4th down and a long 2. Pass formation for Var. Straight drop, he's going for his big guy in the back corner. And Quinn Wright went up and just took it away from the defender. Touchdown, Huskies.
Welcome to San Antonio, Mr. Fort Worth.
You know, I tried to avoid this comparison, but I watched a lot of Corey Robinson at San Antonio Christian, and this is kind of how they used him. And it's just, I'm 6'5", you're 5'11", throw it up there, and I'm going to go get it.
Well, it's a heck of a weapon at any level. I mean, we already talked about it, and why not?
Extra point is up, and it is inside the upright. It is good, and the Huskies on homecoming have come back with 21 unanswered. And they lead the Harlandale Indians 28-21 with 5 minutes to go in the third. Welcome back to Gustafson Stadium. A great football game here tonight on homecoming for the Holmes Huskies. You're looking at Quinn Wright, who's got his second score of the night. Both 4th down catches. That drive took 7 plays and 49 yards. The youngster, if you missed it earlier, transferred to Holmes from Fort Worth, 4A school up there. His full first name is spelled Quentrevous. Quentrevous Wright. Play-by-play announcers call him Q.
I call him Sir.
I'm calling him
real
Q
deal.
or Quinn. I'm not good with first names with more than 14 characters.
I am. With
Fair
the last
catch.
name like mine.
Yeah, that's true. Although Siri does not pronounce your name correct.
That's okay. She's not the only one. Again, it gives us a chance to talk about the job that Coach Salas has done over here with the Holmes Huskies, Don. And really, it's been amazing to watch what's happened in the few years that he's been here. I like what he said. You know, he said, we're in the business of changing lives. And so he really didn't feel like they had to run any kid off from the program when he got here. He said it's a lot easier to, you know, go into the home, visit with the kid, visit with the parents, and get to know these kids and where they're coming from. And you start to change lives that way. And, you know, it's a lot easier to give the tough kids some love as opposed to chewing them out. And, you know, he said a lot of our best athletes, you know, may have been put in that category as being troubled, but he said now there's an expectation. You know, they go all the way down to the middle school, and so they start to weed people out even down there. By the time they get to Holmes, everybody knows what's expected, and they're all in. I mean, he could not say enough good things about his kid, the type of player that he has, and honestly, it's what's going on in Harlandale too, and has been going on for quite some time, but it's really cool to see the maturation of this program under Eddie Salas.
Miguel Leal has carried the football a couple of times on this drive. He gets the carry there on 2nd and 8. He lost a yard. Is Devin Frazier, who was in that homecoming court, senior, who was a first-team All-District player last year, says he wants to go to Boise State.
All right. Couldn't find anywhere closer.
It's a long way from home.
Yes, it is.
We've got a flag down, maybe an illegal substitution.
Substitution infraction on White.
That's exactly what it is.
But just the little things they're doing at Holmes, like having a character kid of the week. You know, some of those things will start to go a long way because, you know, kids are starting to try to do everything the right way and want to be recognized for it. And it's just so important to Coach Salas and his coaching staff to try to get these guys and make them great human beings, not just football players on Thursday or Friday night.
3rd and 11, Christian Villarreal rolls out as a man. What a catch, he caught it. They're gonna give it to him. Wow, Franklin Castano went down low, and the fact that he caught that football is amazing because Mark Salcedo was all over him. It was low and away, and he sold out for what might be the play of the night so far. This is just a fantastic effort.
Yeah, really nice play too, because, you know, again, he put the ball in a tight window, Christian Villarreal did, and you know, you're seeing one of the attributes that Coach Martinez really likes about this young man. He says, I've never been around a guy that is able to turn the page and go on to the next play quicker than Christian is.
All right, here's Leal again. Again, if you missed it, John Navarro, their sophomore starter, was injured in the first half, so Leal's their main running back now. And what a catch that was also for field position. That was 3rd and 11, backed up on your own 25-yard line, and Holmes, with all the momentum, was going to get a punt there had he not picked that one up, and had probably good field position around midfield. Now Harlandale keeps the drive alive. They're moving the football, 2nd down and 5, 2:40 to play here in the 3rd. Villarreal swings it outside and down the sideline. Good for another 1st down is Stephen Ruiz. He's just a sophomore. Joseph Martinez knocks him out of bounds, but not before he picks up another Braceland 1st down, and the Indians are moving the football.
Yeah, and Marcus Fisher also having to play center because, as we talked about, Jacob Lopez looked like he had a lower leg injury. So they've had to shuffle some guys tonight, but you know, this is all part of the plan too. You know, you get some guys a lot of opportunities here, and that should pay dividends when you get to district play.
1st down and 10 for Villarreal. Snap is loose. He's got trouble, picks it up, but it's a loss on the play as Devin Frazier got in there. And I tell you what, Indian fans are lucky that their quarterback is as agile as he is, because he's got good hands. Otherwise, that would have gone the other way.
Yeah, obviously, when the snap isn't right in the chest, or at least where a guy can get his hands on it easily, it wrecks the fluidity of the play, and Villarreal did a really nice job just pouncing on that ball and living to fight another day.
Been a few of those tonight. 2nd and 18. Villarreal fires deep, and a little miscommunication with his receiver, Frank Castano, who cut the rat off short. Sets up another really crucial 3rd down opportunity, 3rd and 18. Otherwise, Holmes will have the football back in a 7-point lead.
Yeah, all kinds of roster shuffling right now. Guys in and out for Harlandale, but you know, when the chips are down, I'd be looking for 84 Jesse Sandoval. Those hands and that size.
And he's split out. They got a safety over the top over there on the left-hand side, so he fires deep over the middle, looking for a man, and it's incomplete as Dylan Medina went up in a crowd to try to catch it, but Holmes had it blanketed, and it's 4th down and 18. And I would think that Isaac would play a little field possession here and punt it away, but so far, now Villarreal did punt the last football for Harlandale. He didn't start off being their punter. A little quick kick here, so he kicks it high and short. There'll be no return, but there will be a flag throw. And Holmes is clapping, so we may have seen some sort of infraction on Harlandale. Let's see.
Illegal man downfield, possibly?
Yeah, because it was a quick kick, and the receivers sometimes will take off.
Sideline warning on Holmes. 1st one.
Or not. That's one we haven't heard in a while. The old sideline warning. Gives you a chance for us to tell you about the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge, powered by CPS Energy. You submit a photo of your school's cheer team. Tell us why they're the best. The 2 top vote getters are going to win $500 and $250. Top 4 squads get to cheer at the Army All-American Bowl or San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by HEB. Both of those Saturday, January 7th in the Dome. Nominations due October 16th. Register today at CW35.com. All right, so we got a little wildcat formation as Haney lines up at quarterback and takes the direct snap and picks up about 6. So do Wrinkle. He's going to do it again. Well, here comes Vara. Jones comes out. Vara comes in.
You could see what the big boys are doing up front for Holmes now with Cruz. We talked about him getting some college looks over there on the left side. Texas Lutheran's been kicking the doors on that young man. Willie Garza, Leo Delgado, Willie Gonzalez, Tommy Torres. I mean, Harlandale's got a lot of guys in the box, and yet Holmes is having a really pretty easy time running the football.
Still second down.
Delay a game, they'll back it up, it'll be second down. The two Willies are special players, according to Coach Eddie Salas. Garza's a senior, 67, and Gonzalez is just a junior, and he's the one that scouts like. They've been helping him move the football here. Second down 9. Vara keeps it, spins out of a tackle, and boy, that was a zone read going nowhere, and Vara made something out of it. Joel Gonzalez in on the tackle, but he's got great vision. He hangs onto that football a long time in that little zone read, and then he's able to read the defense and make a move or two.
Yeah, he's shifty and has good feet.
Single coverage again for our man Quinn Wright at the top of your screen. They have exploited it every time they've seen it tonight. Instead, he looks this side from McCall. It's right on top of him, and he did a great job to catch that football. He turned his head, the ball was already there. He found it and caught it.
Has he had an easy catch tonight? I don't think so. I mean, everything that he's done has been from the seat of his pants. Really nice job, and then also Holmes doing a really nice job because Harlandale was bringing the house right there, and DeQuarian Haney doing a really nice job to protect his quarterback and give him a throwing lane.
That's the end of 3 quarters here at Gustafson Stadium. Holmes has scored 21 straight, and the Huskies on homecoming lead the Harlandale Indians 28-21 on the best game of the year so far on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We're back on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's Holmes over Harlandale. We take a look at the third quarter highlights. My man John Duhan off to the races as it's been all Huskies here in the second half, and then Quinn Wright going up higher than anybody else can. 21 unanswered for Holmes, and they lead at 28-21 here at Gus on homecoming. Nice crowd.
And a whale of a football game.
First down and 10 as we switch sides. Duhan and Wright both to the right-hand side for Vara. He's rolling that way, looking that way, firing deep. He's got Duhan, who's got the ball. Touchdown, Holmes!
Better throw or better catch? You decide.
John Duhan in one-on-one turned and found the football. The defender didn't, and Duhan spun around to make an acrobatic move to catch the football. And then he turned on the Jets just like he did on his last touchdown. And Holmes now has a 2-touchdown lead.
Look at Jesse Vara, though, rolling to his right, and then he's got 2 guys right in his face. You're getting that single coverage on the outside, and I'll tell you what, Holmes is making every play outside tonight.
Adair Nunez to add the extra point. Snap is high, but the kick is good, and Holmes has 35. It's 35-21, the Huskies in a comeback on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It is a beautiful night at Gustafson Stadium for football. Nice breeze blowing. And the Holmes Huskies with a lot to celebrate right now. John Duhan with a 48-yard touchdown to go with his 52-yarder. A 4-play, 64-yard drive. And the Holmes Huskies, who trailed this football game 21-7, now lead it 35-21.
Got to be impressed.
Unanswered.
Yeah, you have to be impressed with the play of Jesse Vada, the quarterback. I mean, he's made every play tonight. Sure, his receivers are making some great plays for him downfield, but he's managed the game. He's made plays with his feet and his arm.
Brian Gonzalez's foot is into it. It's taken at the 35, trying to get outside to the corner is Ryan Jaramillo. And Harlandale now trying to play from behind.
Yeah, we'll see if Christian Villarreal can get his team going. We talked about he's got a couple of key guys out. You know, they were flowing pretty well when everybody was in there healthy, but you know, this is part of the process when you're playing through the preseason. You got to see if you can figure some things out when guys go down, and so it's a great learning opportunity for this Harlandale offense.
It's a prompt to immediate care first down, and Villarreal's running for his life. Oh, what a collision after the fact. Ethan Ramirez drilled Jesse Sandoval, their star receiver, right about thigh high. And that is going to smart.
Yeah, ball was high, and then just completely unprotected.
Just keep your heads out of the way, young people. It's a good clean hit, just shoulder to a knee or to a thigh, all good, but man, just hope those kids keep their heads out of the way. It's a good football play right there. Clean, everybody's all right.
Yeah, Jesse Sandoval over there trying to shake the cobwebs off of that one, man. I don't know about, he's going to be back anytime soon. That was quite a hit he took.
Right on the quad. Throw a little bubble route over here to 85. That's Frank Castano. Holmes defense doesn't give up much. That'll set up third down and long.
Yeah, Joseph Martinez doing a nice job hanging over there. Jason Ramirez, number 9. I mean, those guys were really good on the last drive, too. I mean, Holmes was trying to go deep on that fourth down play, and they had 3 guys around the receiver. So this Holmes team, you could tell they've been well coached.
Momentum is everything, and you just can see a swagger on that green and gold side of the ball right now. As Villarreal throws over the middle, that one's high and almost caught. Great effort trying to grab the football from Dylan Medina, but just a little high.
Yeah, they had that play, and you know, that's one of those too, Don, when you hit somebody like they did 84 a couple of plays previous, all of a sudden, you know, you get some heads on a swivel back there. Holmes really bringing out the physicality, especially in this second half.
Fourth down, going for it deep in their own territory, and that ball's almost picked off. 4th and 11 from your own 20?
It's the preseason, bro. Roll the bones. They're playing up.
I am not that kind of gambling man, but
I'm glad Isaac is. Wouldn't you rather see that than somebody punt the ball away? I do.
You know, there was that story on HBO, Real Sports, about so we look at our UIW Smile Cam, about the guy, I think it was in the South somewhere, maybe Alabama or Mississippi, who doesn't, it's Arkansas, who doesn't punt. It's never punted.
And I guess Jacksonville was doing that a lot this weekend. I mean, I think if you do the math, you know, a lot of these times, you know, you take your chance when you have your hands on the football.
He has a mathematical equation he says works. His name's Kevin Kelly. Boy, Mark Kusenberger's good. Statistician extraordinaire, pulling that one out of a hat. Who the guy's name? Vara scrambling. Wants to throw it, tucks it away, dives for 1 or 2.
See, even a play like that, Don, where it's completely busted, he's running around for his life. He doesn't take the sack. He's able to spin forward and at least move that thing a half a yard. He's had a really nice game. I've been impressed.
Very nice. Managed it well. We talked about it coming in. Wasn't the starter to start the season, in there because of injury, but boy, he's had a really good season. They could go to 3-1 if they hang on tonight. Rolls right. He's got his big guy back there. Quinn Wright. Another touchdown. We got flag on the play. We'll see. It looks like it's coming back. So Wright knows it. The line judge from the far side with the call. there have been some interesting ones tonight.
Coach Salas was saying, how can the flag come from the other side of the field?
Well, they've had a couple of conflicting calls on the goal line from both linesmen. One had touchdown, one doesn't. I'm going to sort it out here.
Legal formation on green. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Okay, well, that's
formation. And if you're a head football coach, I know exactly what he's saying. I know my formations. They're not illegal. What are you telling me he did?
Yeah, I didn't see where the H-back was lined up, so that's usually where they get teams. But we'll see. The way they've been chucking it downfield, I don't know that it's going to matter in these 5 yards. They've been really hot the second half.
2nd and 14. Varas pressured, running for his life, gets outside. Gonna keep it, gonna run it. Oh, what a block on the backside. Duhan came up and leveled one of the Indians, but we may have a hold downfield.
Got a player down as well. There was a block in the back.
I think Duhan's block was clean. I didn't see the block in the back. We have a player down. Let's take a look at the replay. Hate to see anybody hurt. An exciting play for the quarterback, Vara. And Duhan, when the route broke down, came back and leveled an Indian, which looked like a clean block to me on that play, but Quinn Wright, the player that's shaken up.
Yeah, I mean, when the play breaks down like that and the quarterback is scrambling, guys are looking for blocks. And you can get some train wrecks out there in a hurry.
We have 2 fouls. First live ball, push in the back, green. Then dead ball, personal foul, green. And fourth, followed by the dead ball.
Well, let's take a look at it. Here's Quinn Wright. That's a clean block. He got his head in front. They called that a block in the back. There's the block in the back by Quinn.
Yeah, and he ended up hurting himself on the play.
I didn't see the personal foul, but that one's clean. Here comes the late one on 20 right there. And then somewhere a personal foul took place.
Well, I think that last hit may have qualified, that's for sure.
For both. All right, so it's second down in the country mile. 32 to go for the Huskies. He's getting a little chippy here, guys. Vara fires, and it's over the outstretched hands of McCall. Game high on highlights and drama and physicality as well.
It's been a really fun ball game to watch, that's for sure. You know, Holmes dug themselves an early hole, but man, I'll tell you what, once they got the offense going, it's been Katie bar the door. As you said, I mean, they were down 14 points once upon a time in this ball game, Don, and scored basically 28 unanswered points, and really the only thing that's killed them on this drive was the penalties.
Quinn Trevius Wright is not in the football game, getting that left hand attended to as Marquise Jones stumbled forward, and now it's 4th down. And you got a 2-touchdown lead. I think Eddie Salas will be happy to try to pin them down inside their own 15-yard line here.
Yep, turn it over to your veteran defense that you're so excited about.
John Andrade's job is to not kick it in the end zone. That's Calvin Caith, my fault. Calvin Caith, the punter. It's Gets a little pooch. It's going to be caught and muffed. Ball's loose. Holmes has it. Or do they? They do. The Huskies have the football inside Harlandale territory.
And Thane Mata staying in the play and getting himself a big turnover right there.
Wow. Fortunes change.
That's
Castano just couldn't quite handle it, and it bounced right into the hands of Anthony.
You know, I've often said, Don, I think it's harder to field a punt at the high school level than probably any other level because you just never know what you're going to get. You get the low ones, you get the wobbly ones, you occasionally get the spiral. And that's just so tough for some of these guys to be able to field the football. But another break for Holmes there on our first turnover.
Haney cuts it inside. Haney to the 5, Haney to the 3. Wright is back in the football game after getting his hand looked at. Isaac Barrera on the tackle. Huskies want to go quick. They want to make it 35 unanswered. And we have a movement. Flag flies. The umpire threw it as Duhan came in motion. He wasn't set. It's going to back it up 5.
Substitution infraction. Harlandale, half the distance.
Oh, my bad. It's on the defense. They still want to go quickly. First down and goal from the 2.
They are still man up on the outside.
Inside handoff, Haney. Touchdown, Holmes. DeQuarian Haney makes it 41-21. Chuck, at halftime, I said there's a full moon, something about them Huskies being related to a wolf. We were down 21-7, and it's the night of the Husky.
And you called your shot, because it has been a tale of two cities. You've got Harlandale dominating pretty much the first half, but it has been all Holmes in the second.
Extra point is on its way. It's no good, so it's 41-21 as the Holmes Huskies have taken control here on a good football game at Gustafson Stadium on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back. While we were away, there was a penalty flag. They re-kicked that extra point. It is good, and so the score now is 42-21 as DeQuarian Haney's 2-yard touchdown run caps off a 2-play drive after the muffed punt and the recovery. And Holmes is running all downhill here in the second half.
Yeah, DeQuarian just a sophomore as well, so you know we've seen youth on both sides tonight, both teams. Tell you what, man, I am impressed with what the Holmes Huskies are doing here in the second half. And I think, you know, anybody in their district that may be looking in on this ball game tonight knows they're going to have a tough out when they play these guys. And I think you saw enough from Harlandale, too, that it's going to be the same thing for them when they get ready to roll on district play.
I've been impressed with both ball clubs here tonight. I'll tell you what, if I'm one of those Northside schools in 28-6A, I'm paying attention to the Holmes Huskies. They have receivers, they have an offensive line, and they have speed in numerous positions. Leal's got it. He is drilled right at the 28-yard line by Joseph Martinez. Nice tackle there.
Sure did. Squared him up. Get on TV, senior. Nice work.
We told you about our $2,500 TNL band grant from North Carolina Furniture Direct. It's going to go to one of the bands that we have all season. There will be about 20 of them. There will be exactly 20 of them. You can vote for your favorite. Tonight's bands are Band 7, Band 8, Harlandale and Holmes. To vote for your band, just text Band 7 if you're a Harlandale fan to 45203. Or if you want Holmes to win that $2,500 grant, text Band 8 to 45203. New quarterback in for the Indians. Thought that ball might have come out. Now Steven Benitez is now taken snaps. He's just a sophomore. Comes to the sideline to get the call from the coordinator there.
Another big tall kid. Got a player down.
Talked a lot about the officiating tonight, and you know they need your help here in the South Texas area. The Texas Association of Sports Officials always looking for good officials. Officiating crews from all across the state are looking for help. You know, instead of criticizing them like we do, join up. You'll find out quickly that it's a lot harder than it looks. Go to www.saofficials.com and you can find out more information on how you can help the great state of Texas, whether it's middle school football games, extracurriculars in the state of Texas, basketball games, middle school, girls, volleyball, football, whatever you like. This Texas Association of Sports Officials can always use more.
Well, good to see Miguel Liel get off under his own power, but he is walking off rather gingerly, as they say, but cannot say enough about the job that the Holmes defense has done tonight. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about the job that some of these kids have done. Devion Frazier, number 33, and we haven't even talked about the fact that Damian Lopez was their other linebacker, star extraordinaire. He broke his elbow last week, and they're having to go without him for a while. So, I mean, imagine how tough this Holmes defense could be if they have another playmaker on that side of the ball. And they hope to get him back at some point, but those two guys as linebackers really did a nice job, the coaching staff was telling us, about being able to complement each other on the field. And again, we've called 33's number a lot tonight.
Sure have. Good football player there in the middle for Holmes Huskies, and Benitez completes the pass to become a manageable 3rd and 1 here for Harlandale. Down 3 scores. They need to score quickly with 7 minutes to go, and their Indians are going to take a timeout and talk this one over. We'll take it with them. Holmes dominating with 35 unanswered points. They lead the Harlandale Indians 42-21. We're coming right back after this. Welcome back. It's 42-21 Holmes over Harlandale. If you're joining us late, the Huskies fell behind 21-7 in the first half, but just an electric offensive performance by Holmes in the second half with 35 unanswered. Jesse Vara has been brilliant as Steven Benitez powers his way for the first down. Sophomore quarterback looking good. He's had a couple of pass attempts this season. We saw one tonight on a double pass trick-ration kind of play. And Virial, I don't know if he's hurt or they just want to take a look at the sophomore and see how he's going to develop. Give him some good game experience here. Tall kid.
Yeah, and we're seeing the experience, too, of this Holmes Huskies defense on the back end. Ramirez, both Jason and Ethan. Ethan's really a headhunter type of kid. And then, you know, Mark Salcedo and Sierra, we've called his name a bunch tonight. They've really tightened up this defense here in the second half. I mean, it's like a totally different ball club.
Coach Eddie Salas said at the halftime, we got to make some adjustments. Well, we know what those are. He's made them. And we have another injured player on the turf for the Holmes Huskies.
Officials timeout.
Let's take a look at what's coming up in the next few weeks for both of these teams. First with the Harlandale Indians. District play now ready to get underway. If you look at after tonight's game, Harlandale will face Somerset, Floresville, Uvalde, Eagle Pass, Southside Cardinals in the Frontier Bowl against the McCullum Cowboys. Harlandale moving down to 5A. You'll see a lot of good squads there.
Yeah, there's not too many bunnies in that schedule along the way as well.
And then the Holmes Huskies, of course, have that tough 28 6A schedule. See how Benitez finishes the drive, 6 minutes to play, down 3 scores. first real varsity action. Got a man down the sidelines, hits him right in stride. Nice ball. Dylan Medina with the catch. That's good for a first down. Anthony Mata, the kid who made that recovery on the muffed punt, there to bring him down.
Jeremy Rodriguez doing a really nice job too at right tackle, turning his man outside, giving his quarterback a throwing lane right there. Again, I just cannot believe the size of these Harlandale kids. This looks as big as any team in town.
Big across the front. This young quarterback is tall and rangy. Trips to the left-hand side. First down, rolls that way, being pursued, fires, caught, right inside the 20-yard line. Frank Castano. Ethan Ramirez there laying a lick on him.
How about that throw? Rolling to his left.
Vantage College red zone. Yeah, very nice going against his body.
You get a little chance here. Show the coach what you can do. Hasn't disappointed yet.
No, nice ball down the sideline, and those routes to the middle of the field are never easy, and I tell you what, he's got some good velocity on the football. First down and 10, straight drop, firing over the middle, got a man, caught, touchdown, Harlandale, right on the money. Steven Benitez delivered it to Dylan Medina. What a throw. What a catch.
Amen, and what a route. Dylan Medina, and he got himself way wide open on that one.
I'll tell you what, the sophomore comes out and just throwing darts on a drive. Very impressive.
It got through.
Knuckleballer, Phil Necro on the kick.
All counts the same.
Indians not out of it yet. 4:57 to play. As Steven Benitez loads, fires, and hits his man. Nice job to hang on to that football.
Really was. We'll see if they can get an onside kick and really make this thing interesting. Hope these guys are all right. I mean, we had a lot of guys get banged up in this ball game tonight. It has been a fun tussle to watch. Very physical football game. And you certainly hope that Jesse Sandoval is all right, number 84. You saw him nursing a bag of ice over there. Took a shot going up over the middle.
We've seen some big hits tonight. Probably see an onside kick here. Holmes has their hands team up. And we do have a different kick. Well, Francisco Laredo has been their extra point guy. He's gonna kick this one away. And into the end zone. Isaac, I guess, trusting his defense and got some timeouts to burn. And right now it's time for our pick and pull collision of the game. Chuck, there's been a lot of them.
Yeah, how do we actually pick and pull which one to pick?
Well, Chris Kotfus has picked and pulled, and here it is. You called it, the guy who loves to go head hunt, Ethan Ramirez, number 31, delivering a blow to Christian Virial early in the football game, and that is your pick and pull collision of the game. Holmes glad to run out the clock here tonight if they can, and they straight ahead is DeQuarian Haney. Picks up about 3. If you're Eddie Salas, you want to say penalty free here. And you'll take 3 or 4 to pop.
Yeah, and you don't need to be in a hurry either. Get everybody lined up, but let that play clock wind down. Because you know Harlandale's got that quick strike ability. I mean, that's the last thing you want to do is give these guys extra possessions.
Especially after the way Benitez slung it on the last drive. 2nd and 6. Var claps, keeps, has it up the middle, he's got room, got more. Vara to the 50, Vara's gone. Vara's on one man to beat. Vara to the 10. Vara out at the 2 or 3 yard line as Joel Gonzalez ran him down.
I think we found our player of the game. Not that it was in doubt the way he's played tonight. Mercy kept the ball himself, the wise choice. And then look at him in the open field. Good vision. And then it's like, do I have enough to get there?
About the time I said he's gone is about the time he said, uh-oh.
Yeah, well, Joel Gonzalez, props to that kid. I mean, you're having a hard time getting some touchdowns in this game, and it's looking not really bleak, or it's not looking really good on your end, and you make a nice play there to pull him down at the 3-yard line.
And the Huskies punch it in. Marquise Jones doing the honors as Holmes has racked up 41 straight points here in the second half after trailing 21, I'm sorry, not 41 straight. There was a Harlandale touchdown in there, but 41 points in the second half.
Yeah, it's been quite an offensive explosion for Holmes tonight, and it is interesting. Sometimes you can see these games turn on a dime, and I don't know that we were going to say that we were going to see something like this. It's been, we know we got two really good teams here, but for Holmes to turn it on like this on both sides of the ball, man, the lights went on, and I'm curious to hear what Coach has to say after the game as to how they got this thing turned around so quickly.
I got 2 questions if I'm Mike Hernandez. One, what defensive adjustment did you see that you had to make? Because there was definitely an adjustment that basically shut Harlandale down. And 2, what did you say to light a fire under there? You know what? Because they came out a different team intensity-wise in the second half.
There's no question. They go down, have a long drive, score a touchdown, and then they get a quick 3-and-out where they hadn't forced Harlandale to punt the entire night. So, you have both units stepping up. We've also seen a big special teams play from Holmes in this game that led to a score. So everybody chipping in right now for the Holmes Huskies. And, again, this is a team, you talk to Eddie Salas, they want to be better than what they were last year. They won 4 games. And they really felt like, if they had beaten Clark last year where they lost in overtime, they would have been that team to get into the play-in game. But they've got 2 wins already. Looking at number 3, just 3 minutes and 58 seconds from that. I mean, you got to believe that this team is going to be one of those teams when zone play starts in 28-6A that's going to have a say.
Absolutely. Very, very impressive. Kicks a little nubber that's taken in midair by Leal. Good to see him back out there after going down with an injury. Chuck, when you talk about Holmes' schedule, of course, it's a gauntlet in that district, and it starts next week with Stevens and Marshall and Brennan and Brandeis and Taft. But I think it's fair to say that in this zone, it's kind of a down year for Brennan so far. And Marshall was beaten 68-7 last weekend. Stevens is a good football team, but I think this is a zone that Holmes has a very good chance of winning.
Well, they're definitely going to have a chance to win some of these games, there's no doubt. I think Brandeis is getting better week to week. It's hard to count out Brennan at any time just because there's no history of them not being good. So they're going to have their hands full, there's no doubt. The district is always tough, but so much the better. These guys have proven that they don't mind expectations. They don't mind when somebody says, we're going to go out and have a chance to win this football game tonight. I mean, they believe it now, whereas maybe 3 or 4 years ago they didn't. But I mean, even down tonight, to be able to turn and flip the card like they did, pretty impressive.
It's been 16 years since they've been to the playoffs, as that ball is almost picked off. Mark Saucedo there. He cannot for the life of him figure out how he didn't have pick there.
Well, again, he's in the right spot. So he's given himself an opportunity, and if, for no other reason, you go out there and you break up the play. So we talked about how veteran they are in the secondary on the home side. And, it might be a little tough to overcome the loss of one of their linebackers while he's healing up, but
Chuck, you know how the uniforms are, right? You know I love to talk about uniforms.
I know you love the Harlandale.
I think both of these schools do a great job with the letter H.
I'll take your word for
As
it.
someone who has an H as an initial, take a shot of the helmet there and on Eddie Salas' shirt. He's got that cool H logo with the pointy ends. And then on the Harlandale side, if you look at their coaching hats, they have a hatchet that they use to cross the middle of the H. And that is really cool. So I'm going to give both the thumbs up to the H logos of Harlandale and Holmes.
All right, I'm with you on that. I'll back you.
I know it's weird. I'm obscure. But you had a heavy metal reference about Ozzy's band earlier in the show. So we're even.
Things get said during the course of a 3-hour game, bro.
I think we can sell that, right? The uniforms are moment of the game, and we'll make comments about the uniforms. By the way, both of these teams, outstanding examples for you coaches watching you coach other teams, of what jersey numbers should look like so they can be read by 50-year-old play-by-play guys.
Yeah, it was a little rough last week.
Tie-dye, not a good thing. Ball thrown out to the outside, or the font style selected from the movie Rollerball with James Caan. That's a little hard to read as well.
There was a remake. Probably wasn't.
It's hard to like, quite frankly, the Harlandale uniforms because they're Washington Redskins, and if you grow up in Texas, you're usually a Cowboy fan. But they've done a good job with what they've done with the Redskin uniform, especially with that H on the hat. All right, Benitez looks so good on that other drive. Fires another good ball to the outside. It's caught by Dylan Medina, and Chuck, he's throwing that a long way across the field, and he's got good velocity.
He is, and again, you got to give Medina credit too because he did not wait for the ball to get there. He stepped up and went towards the ball, and really by doing that, he created an angle where only he could catch it, and the DB had to just worry about the tackle. But nice job there, veteran-type play, move and go back towards the football.
I'll tell you what, they're wearing him out, though. He's got to run all the way to the sideline to get every play. I guess that's what happens when you're the sophomore. Steps up in the pocket. He's drilled by the linebacker. Benny Cruz was there. You tick inside at 220.
A lot of Holmes guys swarming to the football, and young man lost his glasses on the play.
You know you're doing something right when you lose your glasses. That means you hit somebody hard.
At least he could see it. Got to get some of those
rec specs.
Yeah, those
Jabbar goggles.
Who was it? The running back in the Hall of Fame from Sealy, Texas.
Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson had some nice ones too.
Eric Dickerson had the original rec specs. You have a whistle and a timeout taken.
Now,
Harlandale's going to take it. Time for our Night Office Solutions Play of the Night. It's got to be a Vara play. He's going deep, and he was looking for John Duhan, and just one of the many explosives that we've seen from the Holmes Huskies in the second half. Vara to Duhan, our Night Office Solutions Play of the Night.
And they're asking the Harlandale DBs, who are very young and youthful, to kind of grow up. I mean, that was a really good test for them tonight. And it's tough, I mean, when those guys have so much speed and size on the outside, but I think they're going to be better for it as they go forward. You know, because they didn't give them a lot of help. They put all those guys out on an island and said, make it happen. And, you know, sometimes you get to see some of these things in the preseason, and, you know, you're probably wondering, hey, Coach, how about rolling somebody over to my size? But, you know, in a game like this where, you know, the worst thing that can happen is you lose, at least guys are getting experience on how to cover players like that.
Inside of 2 minutes as Benitez rolls out, and he's trying to buy some time. He's going to have to run this and get out of bounds, and he does. That'll stop the clock with $1:30 to go. Want to remind you, stick around for our post-game show here on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We'll hand out those Monarch trophies. Don't want to miss that. Name our player of the game. Third down and 7. Throwing it outside and it's just dropped by Steven Ruiz. That was a forward pass.
He jumped a little too soon there.
And I'm telling you, Benitez is gassed, not from playing football, but just from running over to his offensive coordinator to get the play.
Well, you know, yeah, you're a sophomore. You're probably getting, you know, some of your first really extended live action. And I'm sure, you know, he's a sophomore. He's amped up. Somebody gave him the keys to the car. You get winded just from being excited.
And the coach makes sure he wants to look him in the eye, make sure he understands the play. Throwing it right through the outstretched hands of his Michael Alanis.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the throw there, though.
Not at all. That's a turnover and downs, and we'll have a couple of knees. And the Holmes Huskies will get out of here with their 3rd consecutive win. The Holmes Huskies went 0-20 in 2013 and 14. They won 4 games last year, and they're 1 win from matching that total. Here we are young in this season. And we'll take a look at the rest of the schedule for Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We've got them again later in the season when they take on Taft. Next week, got a good old-fashioned backyard brawl in Comal County. Unicorns and the Cougars going at it in New Braunfels. Haney staying on his feet. Some good games the rest of the way. Looking forward to getting up there and seeing Jim Streety, who's the athletic director now at New Braunfels. And I know that community's fired up about this rivalry game being on television. We've got O'Connor and Warren, and then Brandeis Marshall, and a couple of trips to the rock pile for Sam Houston, Highlands, Burbank, and Brack. Holmes again against Taft, and then a play-in game from this Northside district.
Hey, you're going to have to go up there with me early. You have to go to Chuck Stanley. Remember him from Kiss Radio? He's got a barbecue place up there. It's outstanding in New Braunfels. You're going to have to hit that before the game, bro.
Chris Kotfus, our producer extraordinaire, telling us that they do like barbecue down in the truck.
Well, there's a possibility we may have to get some to go then.
Which gives us time to thank all the crew members that work on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Chris Kotfus heads it up. Jeff Watts production, Brian Watts in the truck. Mark Kusenberger, our statistician up here. Our spotter is Derek Machen. Mike Hernandez down on the field, and for all the guys manning the cameras and a zillion other job duties around here, including Jose Garza. I'd like to thank our crew who does an excellent job bringing you high-quality football for a high school broadcast.
Football's back at Holmes High School, y'all.
49-28 your final score. Eddie Salas' Holmes Huskies rally in the second half to defeat the Harlandale Indians. We'll hand out the hardware on our post-game show when we come right back on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights on the CW35.
Welcome to the Church's Chicken postgame report, presented by Countywide Service Company.
Welcome back. It's time for our post-game show. Let's go down to the sidelines and Mike Hernandez.
All right, guys. The guys are really excited. How about them Holmes Huskies? All right, listen, great game offensively and defensively. I'm going to talk to the coach in a second and find out what they fed you at halftime to get you fired up. But first, I want to give out the MVP trophy for tonight. Wow. Yeah, you said it. Vada. Come on up here. How you doing? Congratulations. Thank you. All right, now check this out. Check out these numbers. 14 for 19, 265 yards, 4 touchdown passes. You rushed for 96 yards. Another touchdown rushing. So we did the little math here. You had about 360 yards total. And then we're responsible for 5 TDs. How about that?
Sounds good, Coach. I got to give it all to my teammates, Coach, all of it. You know, everybody at home, thank God, my coaches, my family, they all support me and everything. So this goes off of them, all of them, right here. And Huskies are back, baby. Huskies are back.
Huskies are back. Congratulations, son. All right. How about a hand for your MVP? Okay, so Coach Salas, I got two questions for you. The first one, and the guys upstairs, we have all the same question. What did you tell them at halftime to change things around like that?
At halftime we came out and said, we're killing ourselves on penalties, doing some things, but bottom line, it was, hey, relax, and we're still in the game. We get the ball back. Let's go out and score and then get us back in. And I'm going to tell you, they responded well, and they've always have, and it's just good to see it, and especially at this time of the season as we get closer to our district play.
Well, you responded with 41 points in the second half. And the other question is, what adjustments did you make defensively? Because you just shut them down. You pitched the shutout in the second half.
Yeah, I tell you, got to give it out to our defense. Our defense, just an amazing group of young men. They've been the anchor of our team all the way up to now, and coaches do a great job with them. And I'm going to tell you, we knew they were going to come around, especially in that third quarter at the end where they started playing well and clicking. And we just got to get them back to where they normally do, and they did a fantastic job. We're excited for them.
Well, you guys, I know it's a tough district for you, but I'll tell you, we've been talking about it. You guys are the real deal. Oh, yeah. And I know you're going to be here at the NSC. We get you on Thursday Night Lights again, see how much you've progressed. But congratulations to the Holmes Huskies. Let me get this.
All right.
I'll let you present it. Your T&L trophy to the Holmes Huskies tonight. Oh, boy.
Good stuff. Holmes Huskies fired up as they beat Harlandale tonight. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Church's Chicken postgame report, presented by Countywide Service Company.
It's a final. Holmes over Harlandale 49-28. Let's show you that comeback in the second half. Harlandale led 21-7, but John Duhan turned it on. Not once, but twice in the second half as the Huskies went off. Q Wright had a couple of touchdown catches tonight, big 6'5" receiver, doing a great job. But Duhan really sparked him with the long touchdowns, a 52-yarder, a 48-yarder. Holmes, again, scored all but 7 of their points in the second half. Great special teams play. Haney dives in there for a touchdown late. Jesse Vara, our player of the game, number 7, putting up 265 yards passing. Turned it over not once. And the Holmes Huskies, Chuck, showing you what you can do when you get fired up to play football.
It's really hard to believe, Don, that you can amass that many total yards and have 10 penalties for 82. But that just goes to show you how explosive these Huskies are. And like we said, it was a tale of two halves. Harlandale was really rolling in the first half. Still had a lot of yards up on the scoreboard tonight. A lot of points, too. But man, in the second half, Holmes' defense really clamped down, and really on offense, there was no answer for the Huskies, either on the ground or through the air.
Good job, partner.
Right back at you, bro.
Excellent football game for Chris Kotfuss, the entire crew on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We knew it'd be a good one, and it is. Holmes wins it 49-28. We'll see you next time on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Till then, good night, and God bless.